The story kicks off with thundering storms and flashes of lightning covering the whole town. In the palace, Princess Selena is walking angrily when her brother calls out to her, "Selena. Wait a second, little sister. You're leaving already. If you leave like this." But Selena angrily interrupts him, reminding him of, "It also rained like this that day you people kicked me out saying I was a fake." Her brother asks, "Do you remember?" She answers, "I'd like to order the servants to drag you out like a dog and shove you in the rain." "That's what you said to me," he adds. "I really thought you were lying. That girl who looks exactly like you showed up and started rambling on about the past which you didn't seem to know about, so..." She again interrupts him by adding, "The minute you felt that, it was already over. Just as you people hideously got enraged with me, I also plan to become enraged enough so that I don't have a single regret. Do not expect me to be merciful, Count Estarion." He hesitates. She replies, "This must be proof that our relationship has come to an end. I'd like you people to know as well, that there's no turning back now." As she leaves the palace in the rain, a sober man shields her with an umbrella and, smiling, appreciates, "You did well. You can always lean on me. Even though I might not have a noble ancestry, I can still protect you from anything that comes in your way." Please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, as it really helps our channel grow. Thanks. 1 year ago, in the Estarion estate, Selena despairs. "I can't seem to focus." "It's worse today," the maid asks. "Lady Selena, did you have another nightmare?" Aunt Selena's asking. "Is it that obvious?" the maid replies. "You're extremely pale. You don't remember what it was about, right?" Selena adds. "No. I have nightmares more than half of the week, yet I can't remember anything. I feel like they're long-lost memories, but if I try to recall them, I just get headaches. When I was a child, I got kidnapped and ended up losing all my memories from before the age of 10. Perhaps that's the reason why I still have nightmares where I wander around uncertain memories." Then the maid says, "You lost your memories because of those bad guys and now you're going through all this. If it's too much to bear, should I bring you some pain potion made by the temple?" Selena denies. "No, I don't want to use that precious thing on something as minor as my headache. Instead, can you see what's going on outside?" "I hear some commotion." The maid agrees and says, "Okay. I'll be back soon." Selena thinks, "This place I now live in is a holy empire. Until 100 years ago, there was actually a saint, and even the founding heroes are holy knights. As a result, there's a strong ethos of trying to treat everything with holy power, and medicine is less developed here than in other nations. I even carried out some pharmaceutical research, but I wasn't able to solve this chronic headache." Upon seeing her maid Rosie return, she asks, "You're back, Rosie." Rosie replies respectfully, "My lady, I think you need to go see for yourself." Selena asks again, "Why? What's going on?" As both come out of the room, Selena becomes shocked to hear someone speaking. "Please believe me. I can prove it. I can prove all of it. So please give me a chance," Selena asks. "Father, what's going on?" her father orders. "Selena, go stay in your room." Upon seeing this lady who looks similar to her, she thinks, "Huh? What's this déjà vu?" Rosie asks. "My lady, is your head hurting again?" Selena replies. "I'm okay. Yes, I should go back and get some rest." But on this lady requests, "Father, please believe what I'm saying." Selena becomes shocked to hear. "Father?" the king asks. "What do you mean you're my daughter? Are you saying you're my love child or something?" This lady replies, "Father, I mean, my lord. I'm your real daughter," the king shouts. "How dare you impersonate a noble? Kick this girl out right now," this lady loudly says. "My dear baby, I love you more than the sun. That's what it said in the letter my mother left me before childbirth. And on my 4th birthday, you put me on the top of your feet and taught me how to dance." When the king asks, "You could have easily heard that from others," she confidently replies. "You also came to my bedroom and put a luminous stone under my bed." Maids, much shocked, whisper, "Oh my gosh, how does she? Oh dear," while she continues, "You said the light would chase away monsters and told me not to be scared." Selena thinks, "I lost all my memories since I returned after having been kidnapped, but this woman remembers things about my past that I don't even know. Who is this woman and why does she know my memories? King orders. Selena, go inside, Selena requests. Father, please let me stay. I need to know what's going, when her father loudly says. That's an order. I think it would best if you went to your room and took a sedative. Then he orders. Rosie, escort Selena back to her room. She immediately nods. Yes, my lord. My lady, we should go. While Selena, much confused, thinks, I'm the real one. If that woman is Selena, then who am I? That day, each and every minute I was awake felt like I was in a nightmare. After all, I wasn't strong or stable enough to not be affected by it. Who could easily accept that I could possibly not be the real daughter? Then she approaches her unconscious uncle and sadly holding his hands asks, Uncle, please help me. I'm Selena, right? I'm the real daughter, right? I held the hand of my uncle, who's been lying there unconsciously since I was a child, and continued to pray that I wished I was the real daughter. Then his brother Shaun, approaching, asks, Here you are. Selena, what's going on? She replies, Shaun, they're saying I might not be the real daughter. If I'm not Selena Estarion, who am I? Shaun assures. Of course, you're my sister, Selena. Suddenly Rosie interrupts. My lady! I heard the head maid is going to inspect that woman's body. Hurry up and go. Selena, much frightened, thinks. Inspect her body. That means her childhood memories are accurate, Shaun assures her. Selena, there must be some kind of misunderstanding. I'm sure father's just gotten it wrong. Let me go and talk to him. While she thinks, could it really be all a misunderstanding? What if I really am not Selena? Then the king calls her and asks. Selena, she replies. Yes, Father Shaun, he questions. There's something I'd like to ask you. Are you really Selena Estarion? As Selena curiously inquires. What do you mean, am I the real Selena Estarion? Her father exhales and replies. Dear, I think you should sit down first. She sadly sits, even when her brother also adds. Selena, I understand you must be confused about what father just asked. But it's really important, he further explains. That woman had clear memories of her childhood and when she was kidnapped. She did? Both father and I checked twice to see if there was anything we missed but didn't find anything. That's why he asked? We want to see if you have any memories of back then, she confusedly answers. I need to remember, but, so King finally interrupts saying. It's fine. Forcing yourself to recall something isn't going to make it come back, but when he adds, instead I want to check your body, makes Selena shocked. She apologizes humbly asking. Sorry? What do you, as her father informs. Dear, you had a birthmark behind your neck when you were born. Much shocked, she questions. A birthmark? So King admits. Yes. Explaining. It was a unique triangle-shaped mark. And when I checked that girl's body, she had the same shaped mark in the same spot, on her confusionally asking. But didn't you check when you found me? King sadly replies. I did. You didn't have a mark then, but because I considered you my daughter, I just thought it was strange. That's all. You were clearly my daughter and a single birthmark wasn't going to tell me otherwise, she clenching her fists asks her father. Then why are you asking me to show you a birthmark that I don't have? Her father, by raising his hand, coldly replies. It's an incident that happened a long time ago, so my memory could be wrong. Plus, if you get a wound on top of the mark, then it could possibly get erased. That's why I want to check, he then instructs Selena. So show the back of your neck to Shaun. As she helplessly moves her hair from the neck, Shaun looks at it and informs the king. Father, there's no birthmark or wound, while she cries by thinking. So I really wasn't the real daughter, while Shaun angrily strides up, springing. Something is wrong, while on her sadly inquiring. If I'm not Selena, then who am I? And am I now no longer part of this family? No, I just can't remember. That's why, the king emotionlessly explains. It's not your fault. It's my fault as a parent for not recognizing my own child, and calmly assures her. You're still my beloved daughter and Shaun's sister. That won't change, so don't worry, while Selena comes to know. The name of the woman who said she was the real daughter was Sienna. Because her claim was right, she now ended up living with us at the manor, but Selena, feeling guilty, thinks that, as the fake daughter, I felt that it was wrong of me to use the name Selena, so I spoke up about it. But Sienna smiled at me and told me it wasn't necessary to change my name. She becomes confused. I'd pretty much stolen her name and even her life, but she let it slide. Why can't I recall my memories? It's so embarrassing and shameful. It's someone else's life that I, the woman who raised Sienna. Bring that woman's friend to me, while Shaun, much worried, suggests. If we investigate her surroundings, we should be able to find the kidnapper, which makes Selena worried by thinking. They're planning on restarting the investigation. If they catch the kidnapper, will I get to find out who I am? She is near to fall when Rosie holds her and asks, "My lady, are you okay?" when she sadly admits that. This is probably harder for Father and Shaun than it is for me. They couldn't have imagined that a fake daughter like myself would look so much like the real one. After all, even I was confused when I looked at myself. Then she exhales tiredly and concludes to the maid, "Rosie, you can leave. I'd like to be alone," which Rosie hesitantly agrees. "Okay. If you need me, please call me anytime." "Well, good night, my lady," while Selena wishes her back. "Good night, Rosie." "Thank you." Now puzzled, closing the door, she thinks, "Do I deserve to be in this house when I'm fake? But Father and Shaun are my family. I love them. They're my everything." She becomes shocked to hear Sienna calling her. "Selena, what are you doing there? That's my spot. You had no intention of trying to remember, did you? Because you're happy. Because you're comfortable," although she tries to deny. "No, that's not what," but this lady angrily interrupts her and grabbing her, shouts at her to get up right now. "I should be sitting there." Selena calls her father and brother for help. "Father, Shaun," but becomes shocked when they coldly ask, "Who are you calling father? How dare you when you stole my daughter's place?" She, much confused, denies it while falling. "No, I didn't mean to steal it," and shouts, "Help me, Father!" While imagining that the other lady and her family are enjoying happily, she, much panicked, wakes up and realizes. It was a dream. Yes, it's just a dream. Even if I'm fake, Father and Shaun said they would love me. While Selena is crying and sobbing after the dream, her similar lady peeking from the door, smirks evilly. A month passed since Sienna returned. Day after day, there were loads of things to take care of. Along with officially sorting out Sienna's identity, she was made to be my twin sister. She was introduced to the maids, and we helped her adapt to her new life in the manor. We also had family gatherings where everyone attended, taking our guards down and spending time to get to know each other. So during tea time, King informs, the ball season is coming. And inquires, "Selena, are Sienna's ball preparations going well?" She answers, "Yes, I'm going to get a famous tutor for Sienna." While Sienna shockingly asks, "A tutor? Actually, is it okay for me to go to the ball?" With a smile her father assures her, "Of course it is. You're my daughter." While Sienna sadly admits that, "But I'm an ignorant girl who doesn't know anything. I don't even know how to dance. Everyone at the ball will point their fingers at me for being like this." She further adds that, "And I'm not as elegant as Selena." Her father glances at Selena and asks, "Selena, I asked you to take care of Sienna, didn't I?" While Selena confusedly and much puzzled thinks that, "But yesterday, I definitely took her to the hair salon. Why do her hair and fingernails look like they haven't been taken care of? Could I be mistaken?" I think these kinds of incidents are happening repeatedly. Selena also reminds, "Just a few days ago, I received a ribbon as a gift from Sienna, and she asked me to wear it to dinner. I simply did as she had requested, but during dinner Sienna diverts everyone's attention to Selena asking, 'Doesn't that ribbon suit Selena well?' So unintentionally, it ended up being a situation where the state of my hair was compared to that of Sienna's. And I got reprimanded instead." Her father angrily asks, "Are you actually looking after her?" She helplessly thinks, "No matter how hard I try, it always ends up like this." While Sienna suddenly interrupts and requests, "Father, don't do that to Selena. She's been taking care of me well." So on King's inquiring, "Then why do you look like that?" She hesitantly adds, "My nails and hair ended up like this because I was helping the servants in the morning. I was too bored to stay still." When her father says, "You and Shaun looked busy, and Selena looked absorbed with reading," makes Selena puzzled. When Sienna hesitantly adds, "This is the best I can do. I'm sorry, my lord, I mean, father." While King looks upset, says, "That's not something you should be sorry about," by explaining, "The problem is that we haven't been paying you enough attention." While Selena apologizes, "Sienna, I'm sorry. It's my fault." While thinking that, as I continued to apologize to Sienna, what came to mind was that, as long as I was with her, I would forever be the aggressor. Now sitting alone, she disheartened thinks, "Whenever I feel down like this, His Highness the Crown Prince would come and console me. But I guess even that won't be easy now. I'm not even the real daughter. How can I even think about marrying the Crown Prince? When my engagement with him is broken off, Sienna will probably become his new fiancé." Her thoughts interrupt when Sienna, coming in her room, calls her, "Selena?" While she much panicked asks, "When did you come in?" "What's that?" Which Sienna excitedly informs, "A scarf. His Highness gave it to me as a gift." And on her shock she explains, "I'm his fiancé, for now. Of course, now I'm sure he will break it off soon. You're engaged to His Highness? That's impressive, Selena." Then clapping she further adds that, "I'm really jealous of you, but also resentful." On Selena's much disappointed and worried glance, she without bothering her continues, "If you had only remembered correctly, I wouldn't have had such a hard life. I would have been beautiful and elegant like you, and also extremely knowledgeable." Then she glares at her and angrily adds, "Everything you have originally should have been mine. That pretty hair, your intelligence, and even your fiancé." While Selena apologizes, "I'm sorry, but you know I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I unintentionally stole your life. I'm really sorry." While Sienna, much relaxed, asks, "You really don't remember anything, do you?" and immediately runs away. While Selena loudly asks confusedly, "Excuse me? Wait, what did she just say?" Then she thinks, "Why do I get a bad feeling?" So she worriedly thinks, "I don't think I should let her just leave like this." She runs behind her while calling, "Sienna, wait. Can you please stop? I won't tell anyone. Ever. So please stop now, Annette." She, much shocked, angrily stops, while Selena calmly says, "Please calm down, Sienna. What is it that you want to tell me?" But Selena becomes shocked when Sienna, standing near the stairs, shouts, "Someone, help me!" While seeing Sienna's smirk smile, she becomes puzzled. Then in no time, Sienna intentionally slips and falls down the stairs. Servants who are seeing all this, much panicked, run towards her and ask, "My lady? Lady Sienna!" Someone shouts, Go call the physician." Selena becomes scared upon hearing the servants whispering and asking, "Who would do this to Lady Sienna?" Another one replies, "We heard her quarreling with Lady Selena on top of the stairs." So the first one, much shocked, asks, "Then are you saying Lady Selena did this to Lady Sienna?" It is the raining day, thunderstorming, when she knocking at the door requesting, "Father, Shaun, please open the door. Is there no one there? Please, open the door." She disappointedly thinks, "How many days have I been locked up in here? They give me one meal a day, so maybe it's been about a couple of weeks. Maybe I should have begged for forgiveness. Is that what I should have done?" But she sadly remembers when her father angrily orders her, "Selena, hurry up and apologize to Sienna. How could you push someone down the stairs just because you're upset?" She, seeing Sienna's smirking face, denies sadly, "I can't beg for forgiveness when I haven't done anything wrong." Shaun, coming close towards her, shouts, "Selena, you've been punished severely, yet you're not sorry for what you've done. Why? How much longer will you deny that you pushed Sienna down the stairs?" Her still insisting, "But I really didn't push her." Shaun angrily inquires, "Then are you telling me she fell down from the stairs by herself?" But she still tries to explain, "I'm innocent. I swear that I didn't push her." He angrily shares with her, "A few days ago, Sienna came to the training grounds and told me she was scared because you were harassing her." Sienna shared with him, "Shaun, I'm terrified of this place. I mean, of Selena. At the time, I didn't think much of it, but a few days after that, Sienna fell down the stairs. And it wasn't just the stairs. All this time, you've been embarrassing her when we weren't looking, belittled her, saying her embroidery skills are awful, and even spoke ill of the box of cookies she was so nice to bake for you as a gift, becomes shocked when he again angrily asks, "Why are you so jealous of Sienna? Why have you been harassing her? We loved you without discrimination. Was that not enough for you?" Selena, much worried and puzzled, says, "What? But I never did such things." But suddenly clicking something in mind, she thinks, has Sienna been lying to Shaun and father all this time? The day that she gave me the ribbon, when we were having tea together, when I taught her embroidery, and even when she baked me those cookies, has she been distorting the truth behind my back intentionally? And skillfully deceiving my family to believe that I've been harassing her? While Shaun shouts at her, "What? A misunderstanding? Even now, you're still not telling the truth? Fine, then try explaining why you recalled the name, Annette. The maids testified, saying that you reacted to that name. After hearing the name, Annette, from Lady Sienna, Lady Selena, while she much puzzled adds, Annette? I don't know what you're, heard that name for the first time that day. She further adds, Sienna suddenly said something weird and it got me flustered. But before she completed, Shaun interrupting her coldly shouts, Selena, if you hadn't gone this far, we would have continued to consider you our family. But all you're doing is making excuses, while she requests him humbly, please listen to me, Shaun. I really am innocent. It's Sienna that's being clever and distorting my goodwill. You mustn't believe what she says. But she becomes terrified when servants start grabbing from both hands. She shouts, wait, what are you doing? While her father shouts, enough with the lies. The truth will be disclosed as of today. He orders her, sit her down. So everyone's gathered. Then he orders the older maid, go ahead and check. Which she immediately obeys, yes, my lord. And moves forward her. While Selena becomes puzzled, who's that woman? So as this maid shockingly informs, I'm not sure if I should say this. But, she becomes much confused, what is she trying to say? When this lady finally adds, this lady is the daughter of a lowly lender, shocks Selena even more. So on King's angrily asking loudly, are you being completely honest with me? While this maid admits, of course. I clearly remember her. I saw her for years because we used to live in the same town. After some men visited, Julia's real daughter vanished, and she started raising a girl who looked exactly like her real daughter. While Selena tries to interrupt, what in the world? While King, raising the hand, orders maid, that's enough. You may leave. While Selena shockingly asks, are you saying, I'm the daughter of this woman named Julia? While King glares at her scolding, you probably know better than I do. After all, you and your mother schemed this, didn't you? While she immediately denies, no, we didn't. I don't have any memory of that. Plus, commoners in the countryside wouldn't even know what the Count's daughter looked like. They couldn't plan such a thing. While Shaun also shouts by pointing, you must have coincidentally seen her on the streets, and made a plan right away. You're being unreasonable. While she also explains herself, it's true I lost my memory, but I never lied to my family. Not once. While crying she springs, even if I were Julia's real daughter, I never lied. While her father shouts angrily and asks, you won't stop spewing out lies, will you? Did your mother put you behind this? Did she tell you that you could switch lives if you pretended to have amnesia? Selena, much helplessly crying, joining her hands, bowing down, asks, do you really think I deceived my family for 10 years Father, Shaun, you have to believe me. While King, much angrily grabs the vase and throwing it towards her asks, why you devilish girl, how dare you deceive the Estarion family? I see I raised a cunning devil of a girl. While she barely avoids herself from this attack, when he again orders, men, kick that evil thing out of my house. It was a rainy day. Now, kicking her outside the palace, the father angrily orders her, take your belongings right now and leave this manor. While she is crying, she calls them hopefully, Father Shaun. But the father angrily interrupts, you're the daughter of a lowly criminal. You're no longer part of this family. The father looks back politely when Sienna, glancing with a fake sympathetic face, requests, please stop now. It's not good for your health if you get too upset. While Selena notices the scarf around her neck, she thinks, wait, that scarf, and recalls when she informed Sienna. His Highness gave it to me as a gift, so she sadly asks, That scarf. I got it as a gift. While removing it from around her neck, Sienna apologizes. Sorry. But before she can do anything, the father interrupts her angrily and shouts. How dare you? The fake daughter coveting the belongings of the real daughter? Leave this minute, Selena, unless you want to be dragged out. Now kneeling under the rain, she sadly thinks, I did think I'd leave this house someday. But I had no idea it would be like this. Suddenly, she is shocked when Sienna approaches her and calls. Selena, I'll give you your scarf back. And dropping it back, she says proudly, I can buy dozens more from now on. But Selena becomes even more shocked and disheartened upon seeing that Sienna is smashing the scarf under her shoes. She shouts to stop her. What are you doing? While Sienna, without guilt, apologizes and says, Sorry. My mistake. And Selena, this is because it's just us two now. Actually, you're the real daughter. I'm the fake one, but I plan on becoming the real one from now on. Selena, shockingly, questions, What? What are you? To which Sienna, without explaining anything, suggests, Well, go ahead and enjoy your life. I'm looking forward to it. I think you'll look great in a maid's uniform. While now Selena, sitting alone, thinks confusedly, What did I just hear? Why is she doing this to me? What do I do now? While she becomes emotional on finding the letter and tightly holding it, she thinks, This is the letter that Amelia sent me. That's right. Even after Sienna arrived, Amelia was still my friend. I'm sure she'll help me. So now, holding her bag and thinking, Amelia is always on my side, I'm going to rush over to the Ropens and ask Amelia for help. While in the palace, is ordering maids. Move that vase slightly more to the left. Be careful not to break it. During her unconsciousness, she sees the reflection of her childhood, touching the crooketh and saying, So this is the divine relic of our family, the crooketh. Will it really light up if I touch it? As she touches it, it becomes lit up with a sharp light, which makes her excited, and she says, It's so pretty and sparkly. Now, coming slightly back to consciousness, she touches her head and thinks, Oh gosh! The crooketh. Why didn't I remember it before? The crooketh, a divine relic kept by the Estarion family. It can create the water of healing, which is considered the same as holy water. This water is known to have exceptional healing qualities. The crooketh is also called the treasure of Estarion. That's because it reacts only to the Estarion bloodline. She continues thinking, I remember touching the crooketh when I was a young child, and being mesmerized by how it suddenly glowed. I'd never seen the divine relic since then, so I'd completely forgotten about it. But if my memory is correct, there's no way I'm the fake Selena. The divine relic definitely resonated when I touched it. Now much more excited, she thinks, I can use it to prove that I'm the real Selena. Coming out of the apartment, she feels relaxed thinking, what a relief I had some money left to post the mail. But with less money left, she sadly decides, I'll have to walk home even if it's far. I've burned out in the past few days. My body feels heavy and I can't even walk properly. Only if I'd used the divine relic to check the day Sienna first arrived. But then if I'm the real Selena, how did Sienna have the same memories as me? And why is she so malicious toward me? Actually, these things, I'll think about them after I first prove that I'm the real daughter. Back in the palace, her father holds Sienna's hand and asks happily, Do you remember how much I adored you when you were little? Which she immediately admits. Of course I do. When I was little, you used to sing to me. He laughs and says, I did. You remember everything, Sienna. They are both shocked when Selena interrupts loudly. You mustn't come in. Her brothers hold her back from both sides and request. Please leave, she insists. But I must see father. Her father, shocked, asks, What are you? She interrupts by saying, I can prove that I'm the real Selena. Seeing Sienna acting scared and hiding behind her father, he angrily shouts at Selena. How dare you show your face here? What's going on? Kick her out of. But she explains. The crooketh reacts only to the Estarion bloodline, so I can prove it. I can prove who the real Selena is. Now Sienna, panicked, shouts. The real Selena? Why are you suddenly? And asks, Father. And what does she mean by the crooketh? And a treasure. What's going on? Her father angrily teases. Look at you barging in here and talking nonsense. You want to use the divine relic for such personal use. Selena's elder brother seriously adds. Actually, father, I suggest we try it. That way, this imposter won't be able to bluff again. He warns Selena. If you're scared, leave now. This is your last chance, she insists. No, I've been telling the truth, so I'm not scared whatsoever. They all walk upstairs and finally arrive at the room. Sienna, shocked, asks, So this is the crooketh? Her father admits. Yes, the divine relic and treasure of this family. Seeing her puzzled, Selena thinks. It's just as I expected. She's nervous, Shaun loudly asks. Selena, what are you doing staring blankly like that? You said you're confident, so go on. Make it resonate. Her father also adds. Shaun's right. Come on now. Make the crooketh resonate. If you're trying to just buy time, I suggest you stop right now. That is, unless you want to get kicked out of here in a worse state than before. Selena, confident, comes forward thinking. I cannot afford to make any mistakes. I must make it resonate no matter what. As she places her hands on it, she becomes excited seeing the sharp light and thinks, I can do it! I did it! I made it resonate! Now, everyone will have no choice but to acknowledge that I'm the real Selena. Sienna won't be able to make it resonate. Finally, the truth will be revealed. Shaun, shocked, looks at her and thinks, How could this be? It really resonated, how could you? Now the king, thinking deeply, asks, Sienna, why don't you go ahead and try touching the crooketh as well? She shouts angrily. Sorry? You want me to hold it? Don't tell me, you're suspicious of me, he explains. We just want to make sure. She protests. I'm your long-lost daughter, but you don't fully believe me, do you? He still orders. Sienna, stop being stubborn. She angrily turns toward it and shouts. I did everything to prove that I was real, but I guess it wasn't enough for you. What you said to me today, I guarantee you'll regret it. Then Sienna walks toward it and angrily places her hands on it, but only sees a dull lamp glow. Selena, happily thinking, I knew it! My plan worked! Now everything will work out. But then everyone becomes puzzled as they see the glowing light appear around the crooketh once more. On seeing so much high-resonance light, Selena sadly thinks, This is impossible. It doesn't even compare to my weak resonance. This is impossible unless it's thick Estarion blood. The crooketh must have made a mistake. That can be the only explanation for this now. Much disheartened, she thinks. Was I really a fake? What must I do now? Am I really the daughter of a kidnapper? While seeing her father angrily turning around, she calls, Father, please! You must let me try one more time. You saw it. It resonated when I touched it. Please, while he, without listening to her, angrily calls, Shaun, grab that child. I will punish her heavily, for fraud, contempt of nobility, and using black magic, while he shouts, No, that's not true. Shaun, please believe me. I don't even know black magic, as he is grabbing her, angrily warning. Don't resist. Otherwise, you'll regret it. While on Sienna, with fake emotions for Selena, asks about this severe punishment. Is this really necessary? So he explains. Black magic is a very evil and dangerous form of magic, while Selena mimics with teary eyes. What do you mean black magic? That's ridiculous, Fath. But he interrupts her loudly. Enough! Who are you calling father? I'm not your father! It's bad enough that you stole Sienna's life, but now you even tried to cover it up. I see it's true the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Black magic is the only way to explain what just happened. You were trying to fool me into believing that you were the real daughter, weren't you? Don't just stand there. Arrest her and hand her over to the interrogation center. Now she's sitting in jail, much tired, dozing, thinks, I'm exhausted. But I haven't slept for days. At the exact time, the in-charge kicked her and shouts, Damn witch! Who told you could doze off? And grabbing her by her collar angrily asks, How did you communicate with the dark mages? What kind of magic did you use to make the crooketh resonate? Answer me, she, much exhausted, holding his hand, asks. How much longer are you going to treat me like a criminal? I already explained everything to you. Is that what father told you? That I'm a witch who wields black magic? He admits. Yes, his lordship ordered me to find out what kind of evil method was used to cause the resonance, while she disheartenedly thinks. I know that it was father who brought me here. I knew they would interrogate me harshly, but I had no idea they would treat me like an animal. The fact that he sent me here nevertheless, that means I mean nothing to them anymore. So on her asking, when is the priest coming? Which he shouts to her. That's none of your business. Tell me. How is it that? But he interrupts himself saying, I didn't even get a trial, yet you treat me like a criminal. So I have nothing more to say. As he moves back to the jail, and due to tiredness, dozens of criminals are asking each other. Search her and see if you find anything. She was a noble, right? Maybe there's something expensive. As one criminal comes near to her with bad intentions and nears to touch her, when she suddenly jolts and wakes up, he evilly smiles and asks, Hey, you're up, on her angrily asking. What are you doing? He tries to search her asking. You got anything to eat hidden under there? While he shouts, and she kicks him. I don't. Get your hands off me, while this man adds. I thought you'd have something, being a noble and all. She now sits worriedly thinking and crying. I still haven't frozen to death, Father Shaun, you've really abandoned me for good. I shouldn't hold on to them like this anymore. As the day passes into night, feeling something, she thinks. Someone's coming, and immediately realizing, she asks, Your Highness. Calypso Martinson, Crown Prince, while immediately looking down sadly, disheartened, thinking, I can't believe I have to look like this, in front of the man I love, while on his gaze and asking, What is Your Highness doing here? While she still holds the jail door rod sadly thinking, Is he ashamed of me? I never could tell what he was thinking, but today it's worse, on her still thinking. Calypso, I really loved you, he calmly says. You haven't changed. That's good, and then turns and moves away, while she, much confused, asks, Pardon? What do you mean? While seeing him still stepping away, she thinks, No! I have so many things I want to say, and loudly calls, Your Highness. He immediately steps back to her and leaning down asks, Yes, Selena. Considering the time we've known each other, I can consider doing a few favors for you, and questions. It's hard here, isn't it? She considers. This moment will be your only opportunity. It is hard. The cold, the hunger, and the feeling of being abandoned, maybe it's my last chance to ask him to get me out of here. But what I really want to say is, please, help me, Your Highness, which he, with a smile, stands up and says, I respectfully decline, he with smirks adds, Who knew I'd live to see this day? The day Selena Estarion is ruined, well, good luck. And as he moves away, she, much shocked, thinks, he wanted to scoff at me. That's why he came. Was he always like this? Or has he come to hate me due to the misunderstanding? Whichever it is, all I got today was his mockery, instead of a chance to tell him how I felt. Now sitting on the ground, disheartened, thinking, everyone's treating me like a monkey in a zoo, first, His Highness, and now even Amelia. She recalls about Amelia visiting her and teasing. You always used to pretend like you were a good person. Well, look at you now, Miss Goody Two-Shoes. How sick and tired I was of all the lecturing. How I should learn from you, be like you. Now recalling all this, she droops her head down, realizing, the world I lived in was fake. All that remains now is this dreadful reality. She becomes shocked when the jailer, opening the door, shouts, Hey, you there! Follow me, on her asking, Why? Where are you taking me now? He shouts and commands, Be quiet and come out. As he ties her hands to the chair with scoffs, she, much confused, asks, What are you doing? Let me go. Why are you doing this to me? What did I do wrong? How much more are you going to harass me? While she stops shouting on seeing a man, Manuel Moreno, a priest, who comes and asks, Is this her? From a glance, she doesn't look like a witch, while the other person angrily informs, She's a tough *tch. She hasn't said anything even after being tortured, while the priest fixes his glasses, much shocked, inquires, Oh my, Your name, Selena, is it? So she loudly adds, I'm not a witch. And I've never used black magic. I don't even know why the crooketh resonated. And on his informing, that we'll find out when we investigate, she, much exhausted, adds, I see you're not interested in listening to me either. While the priest makes magic circles with fire, he adds, Selena, I'd like to avoid interrogation if I can. But if the divine relic resonated, it means the magic was very strong. This is going to hurt a lot. The holy power used for interrogation is a bit different. As he throws all his power toward her body with a flash of light, she thinks with unbearable pain and shouts, It feels like every part of my body's being scorched with fire. With much pain, she shouts, Please just kill me, I'd rather die. Father Shaun, how could they do this to M? While the priest, finishing his procedure, much panicked, comes close to her saying, Oh dear, Selena, it's true, you've never used black magic. Oh my goodness, guard. Hurry up and release this woman. She's not guilty. She's innocent. While she, crying and having no energy, falls on him, saying, I want to die. I don't want to live anymore. While the priest releases her with instructions, From now on, try not to do anything suspicious and stay away from here. Now sitting outside alone, she disheartened thinks, Where do I go now? While she becomes shocked to hear someone calling her, Oh my gosh, Selena! Oh my gosh, Selena! This is Sienna, who, coming close to her, asks, Are you okay? I heard the interrogation officer is tough, but I didn't imagine he would be this brutal. Sienna, while coming very close to her, she whispers with an evil voice, You sure are one tough cookie. And I thought you'd die. Selena, much exhausted, pushes her away, shouting, Sienna! Why are you doing this to me? While Shaun interrupts them and angrily asks, Selena! Are you out of your mind? Sienna came all the way here because she was worried about you, and this is how you treat her? You ungrateful. Father was right. There was no need to see you. All you do is play dirty tricks. While she slightly justifies, Shaun, my innocence has been proven, he shouts. What? Nonsense. Get on your knees and properly apologize to her. And then thank her. It's all thanks to Sienna that they released you. She asked Father to help you, while she immediately denies. No, I won't do it. I wasn't released because of someone's help, while Shaun angrily insists. Selena! Get on your knees and ask for forgiveness for what you just did. If you don't, I'll punish you according to the law of the nobility. Now realizing the bitter truth, she thinks, It feels real now. I get it. I have no family now. I'm all alone. But I must live. If I want to prove my innocence, I must live. So she finally bows down and apologizes. Lady Sienna, I ask for your forgiveness, while on his again commanding, Put your head down on the ground and apologize sincerely. While Sienna, holding Shaun's hand, suggests, Shaun, this isn't necessary, is it? And then says, It's okay, Selena. I've forgiven you. Shaun, let's go back to the carriage. I should have never stepped out to wait for her. Now, kneeling down, she, much disheartened, decides, One day, I'll make you people regret what you did. You can suffer as much as I did. I'll make sure you do. No. I will survive and get my revenge. Suddenly, there is the sound of horse steps, and a person arrives asking, It is you, Selena Estarion. And then, holding her in his hands, he informs, You're coming with me. It is the fresh morning, at the gorgeous building, when Selena wakes up, placing her hand on her head, thinking, Where am I? At the exact time, the maid, holding the meal, opens the door and suggests, You mustn't get up, my lady. You've been in bed, sick for 3 days. You had a high fever, she, much shocked, asks. 3 days. By the way, where am I? And who are you? When she humbly informs, This is Duke Calypso's manor. And I'm Sophie, the maid. She, much confused, thinks, Duke Calypso? Come to think of it, in front of the interrogation center, Eideun Calypso, the only war hero in the empire, once a humble slave who used to attend to the border soldiers, when the empire was invaded by Latran and was on the verge of having its plains appropriated, he set out with a sword in his hand. Driving the slaves and soldiers, he led the empire into overwhelming victory. Afterward, he rose to the position of commander and achieved consecutive victories in all battles. In the final stages of the war, he even performed distinguished service by saving the crown prince. The imperial family held his contribution in high regard and bestowed upon him the surname, Calypso, as well as the title of Duke of Eideun. She remembers. That was only a month ago. As famous as he was, I knew about him. But the only time I met him was once in the imperial palace. While she, much puzzled, thinks, so how did he end up bringing me here? At the next time, she growls with headache, when Sophie inquires, are you okay? Let me call the physician, so Selena says, thank you. By the way, where is his grace? So Sophie informs, he's away at the moment. When he returns in the evening, I'll tell him that you woke up. In response, Selena thanks her. Now, eating the meal, she sadly thinks, I haven't felt this kind of warmth in a long time. It's completely different from how my family drove me out. I want to seek revenge on those who abandoned me. I'll make sure my painkiller development business is a success so I can take revenge. But until then, I need a place to stay and money, so she exhales and decides. First, I must recover my health as best as I can, and think about how I'm going to thank the Duke. At night, she, still holding her pounding head, exhausted, thinks, I was given some medicine, but it seems no painkiller is perfect yet. By the way, I wonder when the Duke is coming. It's already nighttime. At the same time, on hearing the knock at the door, she turns and says, Oh, Sophie. Come in. As the door opens and the Duke comes in, respectfully addressing, Your Grace. You still don't look good, while she immediately bows down gracefully, admitting, My greeting is overdue. Thank you for showing such kindness. I'm much indebted to you, so he calmly brushes it off. It's nothing, so don't worry about it. And on his asking, You must be curious as to why I helped you, she immediately nods. Yes, we've never properly met each other, while he exhales, saying, That must be the case for you. I was thinking of telling you once you're well again. Fine, let me cut to the chase. How about you stay in my home from now on? She, much shocked, asks, Pardon? In your Grace's manner, so he, humbly coming close, says, I guess I should explain. I need a competent tutor right now, and you need a place to stay. We might as well help each other. I think you would be a pretty good teacher. As you know, I used to be a slave. I don't even know proper greetings or etiquette. I'm ignorant, so I need someone to teach me. But on her whispering, I've never been a teacher, he completely explains. You know about things like etiquette and the noble society better than anyone else. And now that you've been cut off from that society, you won't be able to spread rumors about my incompetence. I hope you don't take it too personally and get upset. After all, that's the current reality, isn't it? So she nods. Yes, it is. I've been cut off from. And on his calmly explaining, your pay will be 30 golds. By the time you leave this place, you'll have enough money to live the rest of your life without worrying. She, much surprised, inquires, Why are you giving me such a large amount? But he, still calmly inquiring, You don't want it? I assume it would be quite helpful to you. While she, thinking that 30 golds is a year's worth of living costs for an upper middle class family. I don't feel comfortable about this, but I can't decline in my situation. So she does not reply, on which response he says, If you've got nothing else to say, I'll take it that you've accepted. We can start the lessons once you've recovered. Okay, while she immediately tries to stand up, while removing the blanket with her wounded hands, by saying, We can do that, while he smiles, saying, I look forward to your lessons, teacher. But suddenly, she coughs and becomes unconscious. So now, as she wakes up in bed, Sophie respectfully informs, You were out again for a couple of days, so His Grace brought a healing priest and had you treated, my lady. I've been told your hands and feet have severe frostbite, so you might end up with scars. While she shockingly thinks, The Duke is showing such kindness to a girl like me who has nothing, who was abandoned even by her own family. Is it right of me to continuously accept his kindness? I'm no longer a noble. I'm nothing, so why? Her thoughts interrupt when he arrives and asks, You're up, while she thanks him, saying, Thank you for calling a healing priest. While he, calmly sitting down with a smile, explains, My teacher took a critical turn. Of course, I would do everything I can to help her. Come on, let's quickly get you recovered so we can start the lessons. While she, trembling her hands, much hesitantly speaks, May I ask you something? Why me? People who go in and out of the interrogation office on suspicion of being a heretic end up with a bad reputation. You could have found another tutor offering similar conditions. While he, much sad to hear her, then politely holding her hands, advises, Don't be afraid. You won't be going there ever again. Although she is much embarrassed by her hand scars, he, still politely holding her hands, confesses, Teacher, what's important now is that I need you very much. The next day, hearing Sword's training sounds, she asks Sophie, Does His Grace train that often? Sophie nods. Yes, he always trains, never taking a single day off. Selena feels much impressed by him, thinking, What a diligent man. I could hear him training with his sword even from my room. She also recalls, Shaun used to be good at swordsmanship too, but immediately she reminds herself, No, I shouldn't be clinging to the past anymore. There are many more important things I must focus on now. I can't stay here at the Duke's Manor forever either. The spring festival is in 3 months. In other words, the Crown Prince's birthday ball held in conjunction with the festival will be when Duke Calypso makes his debut in high society. Until then, I'll make him into a perfect duke. So she asks, Sophie, can you bring me the newspaper? She decides, First, I must see what's going on in the world. While Sophie hesitates worriedly. Newspaper. My lady, it's the afternoon now, so I'm pretty sure the newspaper has already been used to light the fire. But Selena, understanding that she just wants to hide something, assures, Sophie, it's okay, so bring me the newspaper. Whatever's in the news, I can deal with it. Now, giving her the newspaper, Sophie shares, I really don't think you should read it, while she assures her, saying, It's okay. Don't worry. But on seeing the news, Crown Prince and Selena Estarion's engagement terminated, and Crown Prince Tuat's second daughter kept hidden by Count, she becomes shocked. She recalls, I first met the Crown Prince His Highness at the engagement venue when I was 14 years old. She thought, much impressed, He's so handsome. Even back then, handsome was the word that befitted him. There was also something mysterious about him. When he confesses, We finally meet. I've been waiting for this day. Because Shaun's been boasting about you so much. She, much puzzled, thinks, His gaze is cold, but his words are affectionate, and respectfully bows, saying, Greetings, Your Highness. Selena Estarion at your service. While Shaun teases her, I see my sister's shy. She also reminds herself, the day of the engagement, the feeling I had was a strong sense of interest. It was after a small incident that this feeling grew into affection. So one day, walking with the Crown Prince, when she accidentally broke her heel and confusingly asks, Oh, what do I do? I can walk, but she becomes shocked when he removes his shoes, explaining, Selena, do you know? The new pathway has been laid with the Orrington's best quality marble, but it's impossible to appreciate its value wearing shoes with thick soles. If you walk barefoot like this, you can feel the softness in its entirety. So he shows her his shoes, saying, I'd like to suggest you try it too, while she thinks, Is he doing this because he's being considerate of me? Then, as she places her bare foot on the marble, he asks, How is it now that you've removed your shoes? And she admits, It really is soft. He, surprised, reconfirms, Is it? Selena, I'm glad at least you can appreciate the value of this marble. So that day, with a blushed face, she thinks, The kindness His Highness showed me was so affectionate that it almost brought tears to my eyes. That day, I came to love this man by the name of Calypso Martinson, but now she clenches her fist, realizing, But he was probably nice to me simply because I'm an Estarion. From now on, I won't be certain about whose daughter I am. If I recover my memory and learn that Sienna was the real daughter, I can apologize then. It's not too late to be sorry after the truth is revealed. So making up her mind, she informs, Sophie, please tell His Grace that I'd like to start the lessons as soon as possible. And so, I must check the depth of his knowledge. After a few minutes, opening the door, he enters and asks, I heard you wanted to see me, so you want to find out how much I know, right? Where would a humble slave learn how to read and write? Do you know that I'm illiterate? And on her asking, Then how about numbers? He admits, Numbers I know. But that's the extent of my knowledge, so she suggests, Well, even if you didn't, you could learn. You're planning to make your debut in the Imperial Ball that will be held 3 months later, right? He relaxing smiles. So you already know? My objective is to go from a wild dog to a house-guarding dog, while he suggests, Don't say that. When he explains, You know, I'm not embarrassed about my ignorance. It's incredible enough that a slave has come this far. So holding the quill in his hands, he stares writing while saying, Speaking of knowledge, I do know this. So as he starts to write, she looks at him and thinks, His hand holding the quill. It's so cute. His hand's so big that the quill looks delicate. This makes her laugh, while he looks at her and says, Just laugh. I'm well aware I look funny right now, while she composes herself and says, No, I just thought that it suited you quite well, while he denies, saying, "What an awfully bad liar you are," and then showing her the page, informing, "This is how much I know. Not that it's much, but," while she curiously thinks, "How strange. His handwriting looks as if he's known how to write for a long time. I wonder who taught him." Then she inquires, "Do you not know how to write Calypso?" When he admits, "Now it's your turn to teach me. So how do you write Calypso?" So he, holding the paper, stares to teach him. "This is how you write Calypso," by explaining, "Calypso. This is the vowel that makes the ah sound." So now, looking at the paper much excitedly, he inquires, "Calypso, tonight's homework will be learning how to write Calypso." Then she, with a smile, informs, "Okay, we can start the lessons tomorrow," which he agrees to. "Great, but aren't you going to ask me?" Which shocks her. "Ask you what?" So he explains, "I learned my name when I was a slave. Aren't you going to ask me who taught a slave how to write?" On her confusingly guessing, "Well, maybe your friend who's of a different status taught you, no?" He just disappointedly twitches and suggests, "Forget it. It's been over 10 years, so..." Then he, with a smile, informs, "By the way, what I want from you is one thing, to pull me up to your level." On her smiling, saying, "It will take a long time. I don't mean to brag, but I'm quite knowledgeable." He asks, "Do you plan to teach me only for 3 months or something? There's a lot I want to learn." So she calmly assures, "We can talk about it then. I promise I'll do my best to teach you, and make it my priority to turn you into a fine nobleman." While she excitedly thinks, "Seeing how he's so motivated, I can't wait to start the lessons." Now, he comes very close to her, placing his hand on the bed, politely whispers, "Okay, teacher. Make me your top priority." Back at the Count's place, Shaun, looking at his father, thinks worriedly, "Father's looking more pale than he did a few days ago." Well, I'm not surprised. Selena was special to our family. Upon coming into this world, she lost her mother and then got kidnapped around the age of 10. She not only lost her memory, but her once exuberant personality faded. When she returned, she confusingly said, "I can't remember anything. What's my name?" So Shaun affectionately informed her, "Your name is Selena Estarion. I'm Shaun. You can call me Shaun." While she much hesitantly calls, "Oh, Shaun, I mean, dear brother." So now he again recalls, "When she hesitated to call me by my name like before, I felt like my heart was being ripped into pieces." Then during the meal, she also apologized. "I'm sorry. I don't think I can eat the shrimp. It makes me feel nauseous and gives me a headache." So he, much concerned, asked, "Are you okay, Selena? It looks like you're allergic to it. I'll tell the chef to be especially careful." Selena suddenly had a shrimp allergy which she never had before, and the mark on her neck was gone. Nevertheless, we weren't suspicious of her. We simply thought it was all due to the trauma of having been kidnapped. Selena was my sister who was raised with much love the past 10 years, and also a perfect daughter who father was extremely proud of. So he now again reminding angrily, "But she was actually a cuckoo chick? That heinous girl pretended to have amnesia, and deceived us all along." So he affectionately looks at Sienna, thinking, "In the meantime, I didn't even know what a difficult life my real sister had to lead." So as Sienna excitedly addressed, "Father Shaun, sitting here like this reminds me of my childhood days." Then she happily asks, "Was it when I was 8 years old? Shaun, you made me a snowman outside the window of my room. Having worked as a maid, I'm now used to the cold. But at first, it was really hard because I wasn't accustomed to it." While Shaun much sentimental smiles, saying, "I can't believe you remember that. You really are my little sister." While he disheartenedly thinks, "Poor thing. How nice it would have been if she had recovered her memory sooner." While also recalling that Sienna said she lost her memory due to the trauma of being kidnapped at the time. As a result, she wasn't aware that she had been swapped with a fake Selena, and it was only after the maid died and she ended up wandering about the streets that she remembered what had happened. Well, when she barely managed to return home, she found another girl had taken her place. I can't imagine how devastated she must have been. If people find out she used to be a maid, she'll have trouble finding a suitable man. I can't have my little sister suffer any more than she already did. So he suggests to his father, "We should call Madame Gordon as soon as possible." On Sienna's curiously asking, "Madame Gordon?" King explains, She will teach you everything from literature and manners to common sense. She's the best etiquette teacher, so you don't need to worry much," while on her still fake hesitation. "But still, I'm not sure if I'll do a good job. After all, I'm a lowly girl," King much angrily shouts. "What do you mean you're lowly? You're the daughter of an Estarion. Who would dare to say such a thing?" While Shaun also agrees. "Father's right. You're not lowly at all. You're of noble blood and deserve to become even more special." "Become even more special?" She becomes much excited when King explains. "Yes, at the Imperial Ball taking place this spring, I plan to introduce you to His Majesty and His Highness. Darling, you'll do a much better job than that impudent fake. I'm confident you'll become the Crown Princess," her on her surprisingly asking. "Crown Princess," he explains excitedly. "Yes, you're my daughter, are you not? That fiancé position was originally yours. You should have enjoyed that privilege," while she smirks, hiding her saying. "Okay, I'll do my best." At the Calypso's manor, in the library, Selena is selecting the book, when on seeing Duke approaching, she asks, "You're early," he also calmly asks. "So are you, teacher." So now she starts her lecture saying, "Then I'll teach you step by step. Vowels are." So after few hours of study he stretching his body says, "I feel like my head's going to burst. Can we continue after a 10-minute break?" Which she agrees. "Okay, you were at it for a long time." Selena, feeling headache again, presses her head, when he with concern asks, "Are you having trouble sleeping after what happened? Do you feel uncomfortable to talk about your family? If you do, I won't ever bring it up again." While she, composing herself, replies, "I do feel uncomfortable, but you don't need to mind me. I'm sure everybody knows everything by now. Though they won't know the inside story." So he curiously inquires, "Is that so? So what's the inside story?" While he confusedly thinking, "I wonder how much His Grace knows. I'll have to subtly change the subject." So she hesitantly says, "How did you get that scar on your cheek?" Which he, immediately placing hand on his cheek, smiling, adds, "Oh, this? It's an honorable scar. Though it's faint now and you can hardly see it." And asks, "Does it look gross, dear teacher?" While on her again much curious asking, "It must have been very painful." But on seeing so affectionate smile on his face she becomes puzzled and thinks, "What's that look on his face?" Oh, she immediately apologizes. "I'm sorry if I was rude," which he brushes it off. No, I just find that kind of perspective fresh." So she, much relaxed, asks, "Do you?" So he, changing the topic, smiling, says, "By the way, you know how you hold the quill?" On his confused expressions, she, smiling, explains, "Yes, it will be easier if you hold it this way." So as he again tries to hold it the wrong way, "How you're holding it now might be comfortable, but it won't be later on." So she, coming close to him, placing hand on his fingers, explaining, "That's not how the fingers should be. Your hand should be like this." She, totally immersed to train him further, explains, "I know it will be uncomfortable trying to get used to this, but just hang in there for a week and it will get better." But upon suddenly reading his blushed face and affectionate stare, she, much puzzled, immediately moves away, humbly apologizing, "I'm sorry. I'll be more careful." While he immediately tries to calm her down, saying, "No, it's okay. I want to learn how to properly hold a quill. Come to think of it, I don't even know how to write your name. I'd like you to teach me." So she, much excited, adds, "Oh, I'm honored." So she, near to teach him, he, suddenly shocked, "What's that sound?" Immediately Sophie, much scared, enters the room, saying, "Your Grace, I think you'd better come out right away." Upon seeing Selena's much feared face, Duke turns, informing, "I'll quickly go check. You stay here." While standing alone, much panicked, she tries to calm herself down. "It's okay. This isn't the interrogation center for heretics. It isn't dangerous. Calm down." I suddenly felt scared because it sounded like steel bars closing. I wonder what's going on. So much curious, she glances from the window and relaxes, seeing it was the sound of the wall crumbling. She wonders because something like this rarely happens unless you don't do your job maintaining the manor. So she also sadly recalls, come to think of it, even the inside of the manor was a mess. How could they gift a manor like this to a war hero? She much desperately thinks, I can see how the imperial family treats Duke Calypso. While on the outside, upon seeing, much puzzled, Calypso shares with Sophie, I've never seen the wall crumble like this. I guess we'll just have to clean it up and live without a wall. There are plenty of manners without one. While she worriedly adds, but I don't think we can leave it like that. It's not safe. It doesn't look nice either. While he carelessly shares, there's nothing to steal in a shthole like this anyway. Asterisk. So Selena arrives at their back and curiously inquires, are you going to hire some men? I think it would be better to have the servants do it. I know I'm not in the position to decide, but I do have experience being lady of the house. While Rosie, turning around much concerned, politely suggests, my lady, the wind is cold, please go inside. You haven't fully recovered yet. When Selena asks, I've never seen any other servants. Are you the only maid? So she explains, there's a maid called Marie. She takes care of the kitchen, but it isn't easy. Aunt Selena again inquiring emotionally, it must have been hard for you to handle so much all by yourself. The maid informs, His Grace isn't particularly interested in the maintenance of the manor. He just tries to fix everything himself. I don't know why he's so reluctant to hire more servants. So now both are at the dining table when Selena starts conversation. It's my first time sitting at the table with you, Eideun. And in his agreeing, she starts teaching him. Start with the fork and knife on the outside and work your way in. And make sure the knife always faces inward. When you eat shrimp, you must take the shell off using your knife. Like this. So he is also attentively following her. And after removing many shrimp shells, he asks, you mean like this? Which she happily says, yes, that's correct. You peeled so many in a short period of time. So he happily moving the plates toward her suggests, then eat these. You didn't eat anything because you were busy explaining. But on her hesitantly denying, sorry. I can't, he asks curiously. Do you feel uncomfortable? But she denies, no, I'm allergic to shrimp. While he much confused again asks, you're allergic to shrimp? And recalls the king informing him that, my daughter never had an allergy. While late at night, she moves out of her room thinking, I couldn't eat the other foods either because I kept thinking about what happened in the past. I'm hungry, so I came downstairs, but I wonder if there's any food left. So arriving near the kitchen and seeing, there's a light coming from the kitchen. Is someone there? And upon seeing someone, she thinks, who is that? Is it the kitchen maid that Sophie mentioned? She becomes shocked to see, she's taking something. So she loudly inquires, Marie? What are you doing? These are Duke Calypso's silverware. Were you trying to steal these? Upon seeing her so panicked face, she politely adds, it's okay. You can be honest with me, Marie. So Marie, much guilty, apologizes and requests, please forgive me, my lady. I really didn't have any bad intentions. Today was the first time. I swear, I did it because I was so worried about my grandson who would be left all by himself once I died. While on her panically asking, what do you mean die? I don't think you're that old to be preparing for your funeral. Marie explains emotionally, I'm sick. The doctor told me I don't have much time left. I was planning on putting together some money and sending him to a distant relative's. But my condition suddenly deteriorated and I got impatient. So please forgive me just this one time. Please don't tell the police or His Grace. I'll work hard and save till the day I die. While knowing all her story, she sadly thinks, what a sad situation she's in. I can't ignore her. So Selena holding her suggests, get up, Marie. I won't tell anyone. Is your distant relative reliable? Can you trust them? And on her sharing, well, they're the cousin of my cousin. Selena becomes shocked. Oh my gosh. That's pretty much a stranger. I thought it would be better than sending him to an orphanage. So she sadly thinks, it pains me even more to hear she has a child to take care of. Is there nothing I can do for her? So she calmly tries to relax her. Marie, don't worry about what happened today. Just finish your job in the kitchen. I'll help you. She immediately, much humbly admits, yes, thank you so much, my lady. I appreciate it. When she comes back to her room, switches off the lamp and lies down on the bed, sadly and disheartened, she recalls her past, when a lady much angrily shouted at her, damn it, Annette, eat it right now. While she, much harassed, thinks, if I cry, she'll beat me again. She much trembling apologizes. I'm sorry, mother, I can't eat the shrimp anymore. It keeps smelling weird. While this lady much angrily shouts again, I told you to eat it. While she, feeling much helpless, wobbles and thinks, how much longer? Do I need to stay with mother? At the exact time, the other girl similar to her face arrives, when this lady asks, there you are. Where have you been, Sienna? Selena was still loudly shouting, Sienna's back. Upon hearing someone calling her, she panicked, woke up, and asked, "Rosie? Rosie, is that you?" But it was the Duke who answered. "It's me, teacher." And while tapping her shoulder, he suggested, "Drink this and try to calm down." She thanked him. "Thank you." While holding her head, still panicked, she thought, what kind of dream was that? My memory's faint again. I think I just might remember something if I tried. The Duke, concerned, suggested, "Don't think about anything." Seeing her confusion, he explained, "Don't try to think about the nightmare. A nightmare is just a nightmare. It doesn't hold much meaning. You were screaming and talking gibberish. What's the use remembering a dream like that?" she asked. "What did I say?" he explained. "I'm not sure, but you were in pain. That's all." Then sitting near her on a chair, he said, "I'll leave once I see you fall asleep. Lie down again now. I'd like to sing my special teacher a lullaby, but unfortunately I don't know any." She immediately brushed it off. "It's okay. And I'm sorry for making you worry," he denied. "No, that's nothing to be sorry about. I'd just like you to be healthy." She smiled and assured him, "This won't affect your lessons." "Don't worry," he responded. "That wasn't what I was worried about. What's important now is your health, not the lessons," she softly said. "It's reassuring to hear you say that." "Thank you," he gently told her. "Well, get some sleep now. No nightmares, no screaming, just have a good night's sleep." "Good night." The next day, as she woke up and entered the library, she saw him already sitting there holding a book. She asked, "Were you reading Eideun?" He looked surprised and admitted, "Teacher. Yes, although it's a children's book. But there's a lot to learn even from a book like this. It's satisfying learning one by one," she thought to herself. Eideun isn't embarrassed about his lack of knowledge. Instead, he's proud of his efforts to learn. "That's good," she offered. "If there are any words you don't understand, please ask." He immediately asked, "I actually had one I didn't understand." "What's a dreamer?" she calmly explained. "A dreamer? It's someone who often dreams about vain things and lives in a fantasy." He smiled and asked, "Then I guess I'm a dreamer as well?" She curiously asked. "You are? You don't look like you enjoy fantasizing about things," he confessed. "There's something I've dreamed of since I was little." Seeing his gentle grin, she wondered, is it a secret? He's just smiling. Then she noticed leaves on his shoulder. She removed them and asked, "You must have tended the garden again this morning." "Sophie told me." His Grace went to tend the garden alone again, he truthfully admitted. "I just mimicked what I saw in the Imperial Garden," she suggested. "You must have more servants if you want to join the noble society," he agreed. "That's true, but I feel awkward ordering people around. Actually, uncomfortable would be the more appropriate word. I was a slave, so I know how it feels to be ordered. I don't like it. I even wonder if I should dare do so," he added. "With Marie and Sophie, I had no choice but to hire them. No one would hire Marie when she's ill like that. But I get to have decent meals and Marie gets to earn money. So it's good for both of us," she said sadly. "I didn't know that was the reason," he politely added. "Well, it's nothing important. Let's start the lesson." But their conversation was interrupted when Sophie came in, panicked, shouting, "Your Grace! My lady! Marie, she must have collapsed while moving the produce. The physician said she doesn't have much time left." Selena immediately approached and asked, "Sophie, you know where Marie lives, don't you? I heard she has a young grandson. We can't have him stay there alone, so can you bring him here?" Seeing the maid's confused expression, the Duke allowed, "Do as she says." Sophie immediately ran off. "Okay, I'll be back soon," he asked. "Teacher, why are you trying to be so nice to Marie?" "You don't need to take care of that boy," she calmly admitted. "I just want her to have someone she can trust." Seeing his confused expression, she explained, "I can't trust anyone anymore, because I know what it feels like to be abandoned. I don't want her to feel the same way I did." He asked hopefully, "What about me? Is it hard for you to trust me too?" She immediately confessed, "I trust you, Eideun. You and I, we have a contractual relationship, so..." He looked shocked and admitted, "A contractual relationship? I'm disappointed to hear that. I'm doing my best for my teacher, you know." But their conversation was cut off when a little boy appeared, looked at them, and greeted. "Hello, I'm Will," Eideun greeted back. "Nice to meet you, Will," Selena calmly asked. "You must be startled because you were brought here all of a sudden." The boy immediately hid behind his grandmother and said, "No. I'm okay, Marie, standing weakly, requested. Your Grace, please don't fire me. I can still work. But the Duke closed his eyes and said, I've decided, Marie. As of today, you're fired. Marie, helpless and shaken, pleaded, Oh, Your Grace. Please don't fire me. Please, he calmly explained. I'm not telling you to leave the manor right away. Take a break and stay here with the boy. Selena, impressed, looked at him as he added, I may not be able to bring back a dead man alive. Marie, now relieved and emotional, said, Thank you, Your Grace. Thank you so much. Curiously, Selena asked, What do you plan to do with this child, Will? He shared honestly. I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't care where he's sent, as long as he's not sold as a slave, she emotionally suggested. Then, let's think about it over the next few days. A few minutes later, Selena was helping Sophie, who said, My lady, I know we're short-handed, but you really don't need to do this. She smiled and replied, It's okay. Besides, I'm no longer the daughter of a count. I need to get used to this life now. And it's actually harder for me to just sit and do nothing. Sadly, she thought to herself, they often pop up in my head, so I need to find something to focus my mind on. Sophie, understanding her lady's needs, said, Okay, since you say so, but please don't push yourself too hard. As Selena started doing the laundry, Sophie smiled and remarked, This isn't supposed to be like this, is it? There's always a first time. Suddenly, they were shocked when Eideun arrived and called out, Teacher? Why are you doing the washing? She calmly explained. Eideun, I offered to help. Just sitting still isn't like me. This is great because I can chat with Sophie as well. Still sadly, he insisted. This is bad. My tutor's even doing the laundry. He then turned to Sophie. Sophie, please excuse us. I'd like to talk to my teacher. Sophie immediately left. He addressed her again. Teacher, how many people do you normally need for a manor of this size? She asked curiously. Do you plan to hire people? He responded sadly. You're doing the laundry. Marie's passed out. We certainly are short-handed now. She gently added. Don't scold Sophie. I was the one who insisted on helping her. He affectionately replied. I know. You're a good nothing. He scolded himself under his breath. What am I saying? She thought to herself, puzzled. He speaks as if he's known me well since before. She continued aloud. Based on my experience managing a house, you'll need to hire at least 5 more people. He asked. Were you in charge of the general affairs of the manor? She replied. I guess you could say so. He grinned. Great. Then I'd like you to set up the basics of this manor. She shouted in disbelief. Excuse me? I'm not saying I don't want to, but I'm just a private tutor. He insisted again. Just think of it as teaching me how to manage this household. I need to learn the basics too. She still hesitated. It would be nice if I could help, but he motivated her. I know you'll do a good job. Just don't strain yourself. I want you to recover and become healthy as soon as possible. He came close, held her hand, and said, You're just so frail. She immediately pulled her hand back and firmly said, I'll become strong again. There's a lot I need to get done. He smiled and moved away. Good. I need to review what we learned today. You go inside and get some rest, teacher. With reddish cheeks, she smiled and thought, I was nervous for a second there. But now I have something to tell Sophie. She dashed to Sophie and excitedly said, Sophie, there's something you need to do for me. Go to the job center and say we're looking to hire servants. A few minutes later, sitting in the library looking at applications, Eideun asked, So we've hired a total of 6 so far including a gardener. Now I need to find a butler. The number of applicants was low even though we're in the capital, she calmly explained. There's always a shortage of people in the capital. But I'm glad we at least hired the most necessary roles. But deep down she knew, the real reason the number of applicants was low is probably due to Eideun's background. When the imperial family gave Eideun a title, it was essentially a way to stop the slave liberation movement, by giving the people the message that if you work hard as a slave, you might be rewarded with a title. Her thoughts were interrupted as he asked, By the way, I'm a bit concerned with you helping me like this. She was confused. What do you mean? He said. You're taking care of so many things in the house. How will I live without you later on? She smiled and said. Stop teasing me. Looking at her, he admitted. But I'm not teasing you. Well, I won't ask you to be responsible for me. Don't worry, she exhaled, flustered, thinking. Sometimes, I have no idea what he's thinking. As night fell, she stepped out of her room thinking, I worked quite a bit during the day, but I can't fall asleep. She was shocked to see Eideun already walking outside. He turned around and asked, Teacher? You look like you didn't sleep well again. She smiled. I'm okay. What are you doing out here so late at night? He exhaled and shared. I was thinking about the servant interviews I had today. I should have had them way sooner. I've been too negligent. Anyway, thanks to your help, I think both this manor and myself will see improvements. Thank you, teacher. She brushed it off calmly. Not at all. It's all thanks to you taking care of me. Thank you for being so considerate. He looked shocked, and she clarified. I mean, Marie. I feel a lot more comfortable now thanks to what you did, he responded. Don't mind me. Just did what I wanted to. That's all, she asked again. By the way, Eideun, that scar on your cheek, you got it in battle, didn't you? I was just curious about the story behind it. He smiled and explained. Oh, this is a wound of glory. I got it in the process of saving someone very dear to me, she replied. I see. Did you manage to look after that person? She became flustered as he looked at her affectionately, thinking, why is he staring at me like that? He confessed. Of course, I most certainly did, she thought, impressed. I can tell he's really sincere about that person. So much that it makes my heart pound just by looking at his eyes. Now Selena is stepping up thinking, I haven't found a butler yet, but I'm glad I hired all the other servants. I'll first tell the new servants the procedure in this manner. I've done it before, so it shouldn't be hard. As she stands up, one maid with short black hair excitedly calls the other. Becky? You're Becky Wyvern, right? It's good to see you like this. I had no idea I'd bump into you here. While the other maid, much panicked and scared, asks, Jeannie? What are you doing here in the capital? While all are silent, Selena stands up and greets. It's a pleasure to meet everyone. I'll be assigning you your duties from now on. I'm Selena. You can just call me Selena, she puzzled thinks. By habit, I almost blurted out my old surname. I'll have to create a new one later on. She then addresses them again. Now let me assign you your duties. First, Jackson, you'll be in charge of the gardening. The kitchen duties, including Becky. That's all. As you all know, Duke Calypso is the head of this manor. I'm just in charge temporarily, so don't forget that Duke Calypso is your master. She thinks to herself. People from the capital are very proud, so there's a chance they'll look down on Eideun. It's best to discipline them in the beginning. She then instructs everyone. Now everyone can get to work, but Selena stops when Eva Baker, the maid who joined after being interviewed, humbly calls her. She curiously turns back and asks, What is it, Eva? Eva hesitantly explains. Well, I know it isn't right of me to ask this, but would it be possible to get an advance on my salary? Selena thinks. She's asking this on her first day here? I didn't take her for this kind of person in the interview. She then apologizes. I'm sorry. According to policy, advances are only possible 15 days before payday. Eva again adds, I know it's hard when it's my first day today. But could I get at least a partial advance? I'm in a very urgent situation, Selena asks. How much do you need? Eva replies, 30 shillings. I beg you, without that money, I might get sold off as a slave. You must have borrowed from a private lender, Selena thinks sadly. There were often people like this in the Count's manor before. But I can't be considerate of everyone's situation. She apologizes again. I'm sorry, but I'm the supervisor. I can't just give you an advance. I'd love to help her if I had money. Suddenly she remembers something and addresses Eva. Eva, follow me. Reaching her room, she hands Eva a scarf. If you like, you can take this. If you sell this, you should be able to get the money you need. Eva hesitates. But this looks so precious. Selena assures her. I no longer need it. Besides, I'm not just giving it to you. You can slowly pay me back. Eva, calmly and gratefully says. Then, I'll accept it with much gratitude, my lady. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lady Selena. Selena thinks. I'm glad I can at least help her this way. Thinking about the scarf her father gave her, she reflects. After all, this scarf no longer means anything to me. Now back at the library, Selena says. Eideun, now that you have no problem reading short sentences, how about we study some more difficult vocabulary and composition? He confusedly asks. How do I do that? I'm not confident I can yap all day like a blabbermouth. She immediately interrupts him. Don't say yap. You can use the word converse or talk. He apologizes. Sorry. I must feel more and more comfortable with you, teacher. I'm trying to be careful, but sometimes I can't help it. She smiles, thinking, Eideun's definitely diligent and smart. It's worthwhile teaching him. But his speech is certainly not the most sophisticated. He then asks, I'll continue trying. I want to gain your favor, teacher, she responds. You can write something simple in your diary every day. Writing book reports is also good. He happily agrees. Okay, and you can check it from time to time. I may have written like an idiot. I may have chosen the wrong words. By the way, I'd like to find a swordsmanship teacher. I have no idea where to find one. Do you know? She thinks in shock. A swordsmanship teacher? Shaun joined the Imperial Order after learning swordsmanship. But in the process, I never saw a teacher. I don't quite remember because I was so young. She asks, Do you need to learn swordsmanship for some reason? He explains, Studying is something I must do, but swordsmanship is something I want to learn. She smiles. Don't worry about it. I'll look into it a bit more. As the light comes in, he laughs. The sun's blinding. But if we close the curtains, I can't see properly because it's too dark. As she comes close to him to see his notes, she notices and thinks, So he's been practicing how to write my name as well. He's finished and feeling proud of what he did. How cute, he then asks. Right. Teach me this word. I saw it in a literary book I read, she asks. What word is it? Upon seeing it, she explains, It means to like. We say you admire someone if you like them, or feel great longing for them. He confusedly asks, Feel longing? To admire, teacher, I think I might admire you. She blushes and becomes flustered. Seeing her expression, he smiles and explains, If I have a question regarding my studies, I will want to see you and will miss you until the next class, right? She exhales in relief, thinking, I took it the wrong way. He just blurted it out and I thought. She then corrects him. No, it's more like affection or love, he adds with reddish cheeks. Let's say the slightest amount of affection I have for you is also admiration. She looks at him flustered, when their conversation is interrupted by Sophie. He thinks annoyed. Perfect timing. Just when I was in the process of telling my teacher how I feel about her. As he allows her to come in, Sophie explains, Your Grace, you have a telegram from the Imperial family. I'm told it's very important. He looks at it, angrily glares, and asks, It's an official document. I heard you were the Crown Prince's fiancé, she sadly denies, but not anymore. If it's something to do with His Highness, I'm okay with it. He places the telegram on the table and rudely adds, But I'm not. The Crown Prince will be doing an inspection of the vicinity, and staying a night at the Calypso Manor. She angrily crumbles the letter, thinking, Of all places, why is His Highness coming here? When the Duke holds her hands and suggests, Teacher, calm down. I'll make sure the Crown Prince never enters the manor. I'll speak to him outside and make a good excuse to keep him there. And if he insists on coming in, I'll take you to an accommodation nearby, so don't worry. Drooping her head slightly, she replies, Thank you, for always being so considerate of me. Remembering her father sadly, she thinks, He used to be affectionate like this in the old days. What if Eideun turns his back on me one day as well? It's pathetic I've become someone who can't even trust such kindness. She asks him, puzzled and helpless. But why are you so kind to someone like me? What are your intentions, Eid? Then, turning around sadly, she apologizes. Actually, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. He immediately holds her shoulders and assures, Just accept my kindness for what it is. I mean it. With his kind words, she blushes and thanks him humbly. Now, inspecting the manor, she feels relaxed. It isn't perfect yet, but things in the manor seem to be improving now that we have more servants. She asks Sophie, By the way, how's Marie? When I checked yesterday, she looked extremely pale. Sophie exhales sadly and explains, Well, she's no longer that age where you recover quickly. As for Will, I can't imagine how hard it must be for him, with his only guardian being bedridden like that. Selena thinks sadly, I also can't shake the image of that nervous child out of my head. I remember spending my childhood constantly feeling nervous and anxious after I lost my memory. She clenches her fists helplessly. That's why I want to help him as much as I can, she firmly tells Sophie. If need be, I'll help Will. Sophie humbly replies, My lady, you don't need to help everyone in the world. Even with Eva, you gave her your precious scarf. Selena dismisses it. It's okay. By the way, I need to hire more servants and it isn't easy, she sighs, thinking. As long as the parcel I asked Therese for a few days ago arrives safely, I should be able to find that butler I heard about before at the tea party. She excitedly asked Sophie, how about we first check how well the manor's been cleaned? I'll go and look at the exterior wall of the manor. Sophie obeys. Okay, my lady. As Selena steps outside, she hears someone ordering, come on. Hurry up and get cleaning. Another maid slightly objects. That's your job. The first maid, Jeannie, responds stubbornly with a smirk. Becky, friends are supposed to help each other when in need. You can't even help me clean the windows? You know I have insomnia because I'm sensitive. I didn't sleep well last night, so I'm tired. I don't think I can work. When Becky tries to decline, Jeannie interrupts her and turns away. Please take care of the windows. And if you can mop the floors as well after that, even better. Before she leaves, Selena arrives and calls out, Jeannie, Becky. Both girls are shocked to see her. Jeannie says, Lady Selena, I thought you were resting in the study. Selena loudly asks, did you just try to unload your job to Becky? Becky steps forward. I actually wanted to help her. Jeannie calmly suggests, you don't need to worry about it, my lady. You're not even head of the house. Selena reminds them firmly. It's my responsibility to manage you. Why did you try to pass your duties on to Becky? Jeannie denies. I never did that. We were merely helping each other out. Selena insists. I definitely saw Becky in a very awkward position. Do you think I can't even discern between help and harassment? Jeannie smirks. I don't think you did just now. Selena shouts. Jeannie, you're fired. So leave this house immediately. You not only failed to keep the most basic of manners. Jeannie interrupts. Do you even know Becky? She's a single mother. She delivered a child who doesn't even know who their father is. If you're going to fire anyone, you should fire Becky first. A single mother in the Holy Empire? That's completely unacceptable. Becky panics and whispers. Jeannie, you promised you wouldn't tell. If I get fired this time, Jeannie ignores her and continues. Excuse me, but you want to fire me when there's this girl who's far worse than I am? Selena calmly replies. After hearing what you just said, I'm convinced that you're the one who needs to quit. What if she's a single mother? What does her personal life have to do with her job? If she protected her child from the prejudices of the world, then she's certainly a strong, wiry woman. Whereas you're a dishonorable person with a big mouth who doesn't have a problem exposing other people's weaknesses. Jeannie, shocked, asks, What? What did you just say? Selena adds emotionally, You heard me. I think you should leave this manor as soon as possible. Or else I'll send a letter of complaint to the person who recommended you. Having no other choice, Jeannie turns away angrily and rushes out. I never wanted to come here in the first place. A house where a lowly ex-slave goes around acting like a nobleman. Selena thinks, disheartened. I don't usually get this worked up, but it felt so personal seeing Becky be harassed like that. Becky, emotional and crying, says, Thank you. Thank you, so much, for saying what you just did. Selena holds her shoulders and advises. Becky, don't let people push you around for something like that. You can be proud. Becky humbly and happily assures. I'll really do my best. I'll work hard, Lady Selena. Selena thinks. We have one less servant, but I'm convinced this is the right thing to do. Now sitting on her bed, she much happily holding the letter thinking. Just as I expected, the medicine's working. My headaches are quickly subsiding. I didn't bring a single penny when I left my home. It's not like I don't have any wealth. So she stares reading the letter from Therese which says, My lady, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm terribly sorry about what happened to you. Supply of the ingredients needed for the medicine has become more stable thanks to your support. I can send you more medicine anytime, so please stay in good health. She much delighted and happy thinks, I had no idea the research would be over this quickly. This all started out with an investment that I attempted at the age of 16. After receiving regular education on finances, I made my first investment in a trading business. The investment was a success, and 5 golds became 150 golds the following year. And with that money, I established a small research center in the south. As a result, the research finally came to fruition this year, 3 years after it started. This medicine can be important, not only to me but everyone. And with this, I'll try persuading that butler as well. After a few minutes, both are walking when Sophie guides Selena. My lady, this way, you could just hire other butlers. While she thinks, things aren't that systematic in this household, so we need proper butlers. And the only one who's suitable so far is the one who came to see me now, Fred Sibin. She comes to know. He used to be the competent butler of Viscount Kelimir's household. He was so good at what he did that as soon as Viscount Kelimir passed 5 years ago, numerous nobles wished to hire Fred Sibin as their butler, but Fred Sibin declined all of those proposals. Today, he lives without being affiliated to any household. So now arriving at his destination, she politely asks, Mr. Sibin, are you there? But finding no answer, Sophie quickly forcefully opened the door, which Selena stops her. Sophie, you don't need to do that. While Selena adds, you normally do need to in order to get them to come out. So on his angrily coming out asking, who is it? Selena humbly with smile greets him asking, hello, are you Fred Sibin? We're from Duke Calypso. While he is near to close the door, while coldly replying, I don't work anymore. But before he closes, Sophie immediately places her foot between the door, so he immediately respectfully says, Miss, please remove your foot, while she denies explaining, no, my lady's waiting, please give us a cup of tea. So on his exhaling and saying, I can see you won't just leave, you have exactly 10 minutes, so now 3 of them sitting, when he explains, like I said, I'm not interested in working as a butler anymore. But on Selena shockingly asking, why not? You still seem young enough to work. He taking the tea sip explains, it's because of a personal reason, it's not financial. But both ladies become shocked, when on a sudden voice he immediately much worried turns back and concerned asks, dear, are you okay? How about you visit the physician again? While on the lady still insisting, it's okay, I want to be alone. So he again comes back, cracking the chair, sits down and sadly informs, I'm sure some people already know, but I can't leave the house because my wife is ill. I've been told her mental issues have caused pain in her body as well. And on Sophie inquiring, by mental issues you mean? He completely emotionally explains, 3 years ago, my daughter died of pneumonia. Just like her name, she was a very pretty and lovable child. After she passed, my wife couldn't function properly for a while. By the time she overcame her pain, we were blessed with another gift. But when we lost that child as well, she could no longer get her bearings both mentally and physically. This is why I can't just leave my ill wife and go to work. If I start working, I must take my wife with me when I move into His Grace's house. That's not good for either of us. If she could continuously take the painkiller potion available out in the market, that would solve the issue. But it's quite expensive and no family wishes to offer us support for it. That's why I turn everyone down, and I'm taking care of my wife at home. So on Selena smiling showing him the potion asks, Mr. Sibin then, would your problem be solved if I could give you a similar medicine? While she thinks, I've heard about Fred's unfortunate situation among other nobles. The only help I can offer him is this painkiller I've been researching. In particular, it's possible to be manufactured at a low cost unlike the temple's potions. I'm sure it will be extremely helpful to people like Fred. While Fred much angrily punched at the table shouting, You're lying! It's obvious that's not the pain-killing potion available on the market. And even if it were a pain-killing potion, why would His Grace give something like that to me? Suddenly his wife approaches from behind, when he much concerned asks, Dear, what's going on? But before she could reply, Selena happily addresses her. Hello, madam, I've come to help you with the illness you have. While his wife much panicked asks, Excuse me, if you're here to sell medicine like digestives, then please leave. But on Selena explaining, I'm here as Duke Calypso's representative. It's nothing bad, so please trust me. Fred much shaking inquires, Are you saying that potion is a painkiller? But on Selena assuring, Yes, it's similar. He bends down towards his wife, whispering, Dear, stop listening to her. We have no idea what kind of medicine that is. Now, even this young lady is trying to trick us. But before anyone responds, his wife holding the potion from Selena informs, Actually, I'm going to take her word for it. And she sips it immediately saying, I want to take it. I'm sick and tired of my headaches. If I could get rid of them, I almost want to receive the help of the devil. Selena smiling instructs, For the potion to be effective, you need to relax for about 10 minutes. So now turning back to Sibin she happily inquires, Mr. Sibin, when your wife's pain subsides 10 minutes later, do you think we could have a chat? Which he does not respond. So after 10 minutes when his wife comes back and calling her husband she informs, Fred, dear, the pain is gone. And now both ladies walking back when Sophie adds, And he was so stubborn until now. Who knew he would bow and thank you? He even decided to take the butler position. You were amazing, my lady, while Selena happily smiles, feeling proud and thinks, that's right, I achieved something by myself this time. I've taken a step away from my past where I always received support. So as they arrive at Manor, become confused to seeing two maids much worried talking each other, and on Selena inquiring, Eva, Becky, what's going on? They much hesitant and worried inform, Lady Selena, well, I think we need to prepare a funeral. It is a very sad situation. When Sophie is crying and sobbing, she adds, poor Marie. It's been less than a month since she collapsed. While Elena, also very sad, shares, she probably wasn't strong enough to hold out because of her age. Both become shocked when he comes and asks, Teacher, where do you keep going, leaving the manor unattended? I was worried about you. She steps closer to him, and while walking, he informs, we'll say a simple prayer for her tomorrow and then bury her in the village cemetery. She nods with a sad heart, and then he further says, Will, that tiny boy wasn't even crying. He was just holding out. When the kid innocently asks, do you think Grandma went to heaven? He further adds, that's why I feel really bad. I don't understand why I feel this way about some kid, but when I look at him, he keeps reminding me of my past. She, shocked, asks, your past? He informs, I probably also looked like him when I was a damned slave. Then, much concerned, he asks her for a suggestion. Teacher, what should I do in such situations? You're smart, so you must know. Should I just make him cry? She smiles and advises him. Just stay by his side. That should be enough. She also thinks to herself, I also always wish someone was by my side. I wished it so badly that I used to find comfort in talking to myself in my uncle's room where he lay in a coma. Curiously, she asks Eideun, what did you wish the most when you were young, Eideun? He, puzzled and hesitant, says, why, of course I. But then, holding his head with reddish cheeks, he adds, no. Okay, stay by his side. That should do. Thanks, teacher, when she confusedly insists and inquires. Sorry. What are you going to do with him? He calmly shares. You can't trust most of the facilities, so I plan to take him in for a while and have him do some work around the house. Not that there's much he can do, but I'm sure Marie will appreciate it very much, he adds hopefully. Our paths crossed, so I want to be responsible for him in the best way I can. She, much impressed and amazed by his opinion, thinks with a crimson-red face. Eideun, the more I get to know him, the more I find he's a reliable man. But her thoughts are interrupted when Eva, much panicked and panting, arrives and calls them. Your Grace. My lady. Selena, shocked, asks. Eva. What's going on? Eva, very worried, explains. There are many things I need your Grace and my lady to check regarding the funeral. Selena, puzzled and worried, notices something about Eva and thinks, what's that on the inside of Eva's arm? Are those bruises? They don't look like accidental wounds. It's as if someone beat her badly. Eideun suggests to her, calm down. No need to unnecessarily recall things from the past. Selena, still buried in her thoughts, decides, I'll wait until Eva tells me herself. The next day, a horse-drawn carriage is moving through the capital. Selena, sitting in it, recalls, tomorrow's already the day His Highness is coming for inspection. Selena thinks, tomorrow's already the day His Highness is coming for inspection. Duke said, starting tomorrow, you should clear your head somewhere else and take a break. Thinks, I'm glad Eva let me stay at her house. Frankly, I don't want to see His Highness right now, catching up on work at Duke Calypso's manor. I'm also less worried about work thanks to Fred. Eideun asks, what are you thinking about? Selena replies, nothing. He says, I swear you're bad at lying, teacher. You're probably bothered about tomorrow due to the crown prince. She added, no, I was imagining how people would react when they saw how you've changed. Duke said, do you think they would react at all just because an ignorant buffoon has learned some words? I think they will rather mock me. Selena, why would you think that? The more they speak to you, the more they will realize you've changed. Duke, I just can't help but think when I look at you, that your elegance isn't something I can mimic. You have to be born with it. That's why I think the word admire also includes the meaning of respect. Selena shocked, excuse me? He comes near her in a moment and says, every time I take lessons from you, I am amazed at how knowledgeable and elegant you are. I think that's what the word, admire, has come to mean for me. Selena blushed. Oh, I was counting my chickens again before they even hatched. He said, what were you thinking, teacher? I think we've almost arrived at Eva's house. The Crown Prince's servants will be carrying out their inspection in advance, so you must be wary when you get off. Selena replies, okay, understood. While conversation, we must have arrived. Let me walk you there. I might as well take a look around the village. I appreciate it. Duke says, I'm sure Eva's place is fine, but the village looks quite simple. Don't you think it would be better to stay at a hotel? She said, this place is fine. It's only for 3 days. Selena thoughts, Eideun always treats me like a noble lady, so I'm actually a bit embarrassed. Now, such hotels are too much for me. Suddenly, Duke pushed Selena. She thinking, why did he suddenly push me into an alley? There is a sound coming from the front. What brings you here, Your Grace? Peterson asked, did you come to a village like this to meet a friend? Duke thinking, that's Peterson, His Highness's servant. Eideun asked, and what brings you here, Peterson? He added, I'm here for a pre-inspection before His Highness arrives. Are you ready to greet His Highness tomorrow? Peterson said with a sarcastic smile, I've done my best to prepare, but I'm not sure if it will be to His Highness's satisfaction. His Highness is a merciful man. There's no doubt that you tried your best, so I'm sure His Highness will appreciate it. Selena thinks angrily, he's mocking Eideun, who knew he was such a dirty character when no one's watching? Clenched hands, if I'm this angry, I wonder how upset Eideun must feel. Eideun coldly asks, I must say I agree. After all, he let an arrogant mouth like you line. Indeed, His Highness is a merciful man. He coldly says, if you were my servant, I would have pulled your tongue out or beaten you already. But learning is a good thing. One can administer punishment in a more civilized way, correct? Then he shocked says, what? He turns back and says as he leaves, I suggest you stop thinking you'll remain as a hero forever. You're just a slave who's moved up the ladder. Nothing more, nothing less. Eideun responds by waving his hand. Well, let's wait and see. Duke says to Selena, I think you can come out now. I think you had better stay inside Eva's house for 3 days. Don't come out. Anyway, come on. Let's go. She said, okay, thank you. Eva says, I'll quickly prepare your meal, my lady. His Grace gave me some money, requesting that I serve you well. The village may not look like much, but you should be safe here. Selena thinks, those wounds, I can't stop worrying about them, but I guess I shouldn't be nosy. Suddenly there is a loud knock on the door. They both look towards the door anxiously. Eva says nervously, no, it can't be. I thought he wouldn't come for a while. Lady Selena, could you please go inside your room and stay there for a while? What is it? If it's a dangerous situation, it's better I stay with you. It's a personal matter. So, a thunderous sound is heard from outside. Open the door, Eva Baker. I know you're in there, as the person angrily shouted. Open the door, Eva Baker! He broke the door lock with a twisted grin and mocked. Oh dear, the door is too fragile. But upon seeing Selena, he stopped and added, oh? You have a guest? Eva quickly stepped in front of Selena and urged loudly. Leave, what? We can talk outside, the man shouted again. I'll leave once I get my money. I hope you're ready to pay? Observing the conversation, Selena thought. Is he a loan shark? Eva, visibly worried, admitted. I'll give you the money, so please, today, I can even pay back some of the principal. Grinning evilly, the man added, it's my lucky day. If you didn't pay up today, I was thinking of selling you as a slave. Eva handed him a pouch of money, and he peeked inside, teasing proudly. But what a pity! This isn't enough. At this rate, you'll never pay back your principal amount. Shocked, Eva shouted. What do you mean it's not enough? I thought this was the last of the interest I needed to pay. The money you gave me last time was used to pay off the interest on the interest. Do you know how much overdue interest you have? What? This is fraud, but he smirked. Fraud? But you signed the contract. Have 30 krones ready by next week, or you'll be sold as a slave. Before he could finish, Selena stepped forward angrily and interrupted. This is illegal. In Article 32, Section 1 of the Economic Law, it states that even if redemption of the interest is delayed, there are no disadvantages. Only the interest that needs to be paid back is accumulated. The man turned toward Selena, shouting furiously, "What? What the hell do you know, lady?" Eva immediately stepped in front of Selena, shielding her and shouting, "No! Don't hurt her. She's not someone you can just hit." Selena realized at once, so the bruises on her arm were because of him. Despite her fear, she thought, "I'm scared, but I can't just stand and watch." Stepping forward to protect Eva, Selena shouted, "The imperial law clearly states that enslavement resulting from debt default causes social and economic chaos, and is strictly prohibited. In addition, the threats you're making are illegal. In other words, if I report what happened today, you'll be found guilty of violating special law. Enslavement is strictly monitored, so you'll end up locked up in Alba prison." The man shouted in shock. "That place, it's the prison you can leave only after you're dead," Selena sternly warned. "And just in case, don't even think about trying to shut me up by harming me. I have someone who will come here to see me." Eva backed her up. "That's right. She's Duke Calypso's private tutor. His Grace is expected to arrive in a few days." The man, now clearly shaken, confirmed in disbelief. "Duke Calypso," Selena continued firmly, "so do us a few favors. Scrap the interest, but we'll make sure to repay the principal." Annoyed but cornered, the man shouted, "I have no choice." "Fine. It's a deal." Then he addressed Eva. "Eva Baker. Consider yourself lucky to have someone so smart by your side like her." As he left, Selena wobbled slightly, holding her head. Eva rushed to her, concerned. "Are you all right?" she asked. Selena assured her, "I'm okay. I was just too tense." With teary eyes, Eva bowed and apologized. "I'm sorry. It's all because of me. I paid him recently, so I didn't expect him to come this week." Selena smiled gently and asked, "How hard it must have been for you to deal with this all alone. Today, you should take your things and go to an inn." She felt relieved, thinking, "I'm so happy I could help out Eva with her issue a bit." Clenching her fists, she added in thought, "I want to help other people as well as much as I can. Just because my family abandoned me doesn't mean my life is a ruin. Even if I'm not an Estarion, I will prove whenever and wherever I can that I'm a good person." As they walked together, Eva shared, "I was thinking of getting my things and returning to His Grace's manor. After all, he provides accommodation for the maids." Selena responded, "That sounds like a good idea. Tell me if that man comes again." Then, curiously, she asked, "By the way, Eva, can I ask how you ended up with such a debt?" Hesitantly, Eva explained, "Actually, it was because I went to the Information Guild. I'm an orphan, so I went to them because I was dying to find my parents. But I see I just wasted my money. I don't know what I was thinking. The Information Guild could never find my parents." Hearing this, Selena apologized emotionally. "Sorry, it must have been hard for you to answer." Suddenly, someone called from behind, "Selena? So it is you. I never imagined I'd see you here." Selena immediately recognized the Crown Prince and clenched her fists in frustration. She turned to Eva and said, "Eva, I'm sorry, but could you go and wait at the inn?" Eva nodded and quickly left. The prince asked, "I hope you've been well, Selena?" Though angry, she composed herself and replied, "Of course, it's been a productive time where I had the chance to reflect on my life." He continued, "I see. And what do you plan to do now? Avenge your family? Recover your memory?" Furious, Selena asked, "Why do you want to know?" "So you can mock me again?" He answered smoothly. "Think of it as my being worried about you. And if you want, I can help you." She laughed mockingly. "Help? Worried? You make a mockery out of me again. You're cruel as usual." Turning away, she said, "I don't wish to speak to you anymore, so good day." She froze in shock when he asked, "The nightmares, do you still have them?" "I guess you do. Do you know what? I've never been fond of you. You seemed like you would break even at the slightest pressure." Coming closer with a wicked smile, he added, "Compared to before, your eyes look much more energetic now. If you had such eyes back then, things would have been very much different. After all, it's entirely your fault that things have turned out this way." Though upset, Selena composed herself and shouted, "After what happened, I realized I'm a bad judge of character. I found myself pathetic for having loved those who didn't deserve to be loved. Who knew my family, friends, and even the man I once loved were so rotten? I don't need your highness's help to seek revenge. And I don't need anyone's support in recovering my memory either, so may I suggest you give your petty mercy to those who really need help. As he walked away, stunned, she slammed the door behind her, full of rage and confusion. She thought, how did he know? I never told him about my nightmares. Feeling emotionally overwhelmed, she whispered to herself, this is the child's scream I often used to hear in my nightmares. Then she called out loudly, disheartened, Uncle! Next day during mealtime, Peterson sits next to the Crown Prince and tells him, I see Duke Calypso nearby early this morning. The prince, shocked, asks, Duke Calypso? Peterson explains rudely and proudly. Yes, he says he has personal business to take care of, but I'm sure he's lying. That arrogant bastard acts like he's become a real noble. No matter what services a slave renders, his humble behavior, speech, and dirty blood won't change. While the prince sips his tea, he exhales and thinks, normally, I would just listen to him. But today, I can't stand his nasty words. Then he realizes, whenever I meet her, I always feel like this. Peterson changes the topic and says, Count Estarion will escort you starting this evening. The prince, curious, asks why, and Peterson says, I thought he wouldn't be available for some time due to household affairs. The prince asks, what kind of mistake did his perfect-looking sister make to be treated like this? The prince suggests. Peterson, I think you should not take interest in useless matters. Peterson agrees. Yes, your highness, but glances and asks, by the way, the daughter who has been hidden by the count, Sienna, was it? His Majesty is interested in having you engaged to her. Are you going to accept? Peterson says. Sienna, she's an unexpected variable. None of this is what I planned. Count Estarion kicks Selena out without knowing right from wrong, so... He thinks to himself. Is he saying he'll marry her? Did something happen today? Maybe it's because of his appointment with the Pontifex tomorrow, he continues thinking. The imperial family and temple have a long history of conflict. When divine power weakens, the imperial family could collide with the nobles and attack the temple. But the temple possesses the pain relief potion. As natural as aging and illness, the imperial family and nobles must use this potion. Neither side can wield power easily. Plus, His Highness needs to gain ground before inheriting the throne, so he's more concerned about the inspection. Later, Eideun stands attentively in the village when Shaun approaches and greets him. You're here. Eideun, shocked, greets back and explains. Today, His Highness inspects the market, visits the temple orphanage, and then meets the Pontifex. The market is crowded, so I escort His Highness. I have more experience with him on the battlefield. Shaun nods and thinks. No reason to object, he's a war hero. Eideun helplessly agrees. Alright, I'll inspect the area. Shaun glances at Eideun and thinks. He looks even more animal-like up close. Then Shaun says, I hear a lot about your accomplishments. Eideun, with a cold expression, replies, I hear a lot about you too. Shaun, shocked, says, Me? It must be because of Selena's incident. Eideun immediately says, I'm not thinking of that incident in particular. Shaun, shocked, says, Oh, is that so? People who know, but soon rumors will spread throughout the capital. Eideun asks, Don't you feel uncomfortable? Shaun exhales. It's okay. I'd be lying if I said I'm unaffected. But I think it was the right thing to do, Eideun coldly asks. But she was your sister. Don't you miss her? Shaun admits. Sienna is the only sister I have. That woman is no longer family. Just then, the Crown Prince interrupts. I see you're all here. They greet him, and he says, It's been a while. Let's skip greetings and start the inspection. At the market, vendors shout, Get it cheap while you can! And, Fresh vegetables here, the princess notes. Prices have risen significantly, especially wheat and beans, a shopkeeper asks Eideun. You look like a noble's son and you know the wheat price? He says. I handle related duties at the Imperial Palace. The vendor, shocked, whispers. Imperial Palace? Can I file a report? What report? The vendor cautiously says. Drug dealers are rampant. They collect street tax from vendors. If we don't pay, they destroy equipment and threaten us. We have no choice, he added. I see. Thank you for telling me. I'll address this when I return to the palace. The shopkeeper thanks him, but then someone shouts. A slave escapes. Catch him! Shaun immediately runs after the slave. The prince urges. Don't lose him! Catch him! Eideun worries. He's drawing his sword in front of someone unarmed. Before he can shout, Shaun swings his sword and hits the slave's leg. Eideun grabs Shaun by the collar and shouts. No need to use your sword! Shaun, shocked, says. This is not normal. We are bodyguards, Eideun angry shouts. You could have taken him down without harming him. Why? The slave, in pain and holding his leg, shows no emotion. Shaun says, You're no longer a slave. Stop acting like one. Eideun holds him tightly and shouts. Stop acting like one? Wipe that look off your face. You arrogant bastard, the slave says evilly. So these are your true colors. I thought you were something as a war hero, but you're a lowly slave. They are about to fight when the prince interrupts with a chill look. Enough. They turn to him. Eideun whispers, One last time, you and I will shed the same red blood if we lose our heads. Eideun walks away in anger. Shaun bows and apologizes to the prince. Sorry for the disturbance, the prince says. Let's go to the orphanage. Duke Calypso needs time to cool down, Eideun, punching the wall, shouts. Damn it! No wonder he abandons his family. He's so full of himself. I gave it my all, and he wants me to stop acting like a slave? In the library, trying to study, he thinks helplessly. I feel foolish studying for idiots like him. Trying to control himself, he tells himself. Suck it up, Eideun. You need power. The power to protect her, if it's to protect Annette. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments if you enjoyed it. At the temple, the priest, clasping his hands, prays, Dear God, please help me say everything I need to say to the high priest. And I pray that there will be no more innocent people who suffer. Recalling when Selena fell on his shoulder, tired of so much pain, he remembers. Did she say her name was Selena? He whispers to himself. I wish I were dead. May your grace be upon that woman's future as well. Another priest opens the door and respectfully asks, Father Manuel, what are you doing here? It's a day of rest today at the temple. Standing up and approaching him, Father Manuel replies, Father, it's been a while. I was called in by His Holiness, the other priest explains. I guess you didn't hear since you're usually at orphanages in the outskirts. Well, His Highness came today for an inspection earlier. I don't know why His Highness wished to see His Holiness, but His Holiness has just reported to His Highness, so I'm sure he's not in a good mood. Father Manuel exhales dispiritedly and says, I understand. Well, I'd like to excuse myself first. Later, during the meeting, His Holiness asks, Father Manuel, you seem to have gotten thinner. Is work at the orphanage too straining? Manuel responds, It's arduous, but I'm happy I can take care of the children. So, what did you need me for, Your Holiness? Nothing special. I just had a few things I wanted to ask you, Manuel worriedly thinks. Did he find out that I siphoned off the pain relief potion and gave some out to the poor? His Holiness asks. I heard you went to see if a woman was using black magic a few months ago, Manuel immediately confirms. Yes, that's correct. She was innocent, so did she show any signs of having used, for example, a different type of magic? Or maybe you found some other signs? Manuel inquires. Did something happen to that woman? I don't know anything other than the fact that she was innocent. May I ask why you want to know? His Holiness asks. Manuel, do you know who that woman is? She's none other than Count Estarion, the one who got expelled from her family. This shocks him so much that he adds, she was also His Highness's ex-fiancé. His Highness spoke of her today. Knowing his character, I can't imagine he had any feelings left for a woman he broke off his engagement with. But for some reason, he was particularly irritable today. He recalls when His Highness visited him and shouted, You tested her for black magic without carrying out a proper investigation on her. I guess it's safe to say the temple's judicial system isn't working properly. So, who reported her of heresy? Manuel informs. It was Count Estarion, reported her for making the family treasure resonate. This shocks Holyfather even more. he reported his own daughter. As they wind down the conversation, Hala father thanks him, saying, "Father Manuel, thank you for coming all the way. Are you experiencing any difficulties running the orphanage?" He hesitantly admits. "I actually had something to tell you. As you know, there are lots of poor people in District 8, the area I manage. You can hear people moaning out of pain throughout the entire area. Well, the same goes for my orphanage children. There's even a child who will soon get an operation, so I beg of you, please allow me to give the pain relief potion to at least the children." His Holiness responds humbly. "Manuel, I can increase the support funds to help with the children's treatment. But the pain relief potion is limited. I can't allow you to use it rashly." Manuel thinks angrily. Rashly? How could he say rashly? They're no different. They're also sick people in pain, he insists humbly again. "Your Holiness! It's a matter of life and death for one of the children. I beg of you," His Holiness helplessly explains. "If it becomes known that the pain relief potion was used on the children, there will be great opposition from the imperial family and the nobles who purchase it at a high price. If that happens, the temple will become an object of suppression. In times like now when holy power is disappearing, you understand how important the pain relief potion is. My apologies. Thank you for your time." As Father Manuel leaves, His Holiness sits alone, sadly thinking. It's not like I don't understand, but rules are rules. By the way, the Crown Prince looked like he knew something. Even earlier, when he was leaving, there was a strange air about him, he recalls when the prince informed him. "Pontifex, I can't predict what kind of destiny Selena will beckon. There are numerous people who will end up being the object of her revenge. And I fear that. Wouldn't you agree?" he thinks curiously. "Kind of brutal revenge could a feeble woman in her situation take? What's more important is the Count's behavior. Did he judge that she wasn't his biological daughter because she made the treasure resonate? I have no idea what's happening. Could there be something I missed out on in between?" Now sipping his tea, he wonders. Back at the Calypso's manor, he humbly apologizes to the prince. "Pardon me for the inappropriate behavior this morning. I've prepared many things in time for your visit, so I hope you have an enjoyable and relaxing time here," His Highness surprisingly asks. "I didn't expect you to have everything ready so quickly." "I'm surprised, Duke," he calmly responds. "I'm not sure why you were surprised. It's nothing special. By the way, Fred, my butler, has asked for your understanding. He's unable to greet you as he's preparing food." Hearing this, Shaun asks with much shock. "Fred? Fred Sibin? Are you saying he's here now in your house?" Eideun admits. "Yes, he's a butler here." "Do you know him?" Shaun explains. "When I stayed at Viscount Kellimer's for a short period, Fred particularly took good care of me," asking further. "Come to think of it, Viscount Kellimer was your godfather, Shaun." Shaun agrees. "That's right. And after he passed, Fred disappeared, so I was worried. So he's been working here, on Eideun's suggestion. Then perhaps you would like to see him for a short while before your meal." Thinking, "I'm sure Fred would like that," Shaun immediately asks for permission. "Would that be okay, Your Highness?" After getting permission, he dashes off excitedly to find him, saying, "Yes, go on." "Well then, I think I'll also go take a tour of the manor. I must see how much it's changed," while the Crown Prince sits down and says, "I guess I'll have a chat with Duke Calypso in the meantime," he asks. "Eideun, have you managed to clear up your emotions? Your backgrounds are different, so I'm sure it's hard on you in various ways," calmly assuring. "Yes, don't worry. I had a talk with Shaun after that," the Crown Prince advises. "Don't try to fit in with them. It would be better for them to adjust to you." Although he grins, he calmly adds, "I understand what you mean, Your Highness. I learned that's called authority," surprisingly asking. "It sounds like you're learning." "But from who?" Eideun replies. "Yes, I'm doing my best these days. I found an exceptional private tutor." This shocks the Highness, but he changes the topic, asking, "Private tutor? By the way, I saw Selena in the vicinity yesterday," Eideun shocked asks. "Selena Estarion?" He nods. "Yes, I'd asked you to find her. I think we might know her whereabouts if we narrowed down the area." Curiously, Eideun asks, "So did you find her?" The prince denies. "No, I haven't found anything pointing to her whereabouts," Duke thinks. He isn't aware that I'm lying to him and hiding Selena, he calmly asks. And why are you looking for her, Your Highness? The Crown Prince smirks. I don't think I need to tell you that. This prompts him to ask sadly and compose himself. I was merely curious. After all, she's a woman Your Highness is interested in, is she not? With a cold expression, the prince asks. That makes me curious as well, Calypso. Why did you hide the fact that she's staying here at your manor? As he, with suspicious expressions, informs. Peterson ran into her, so I had him look into it. He told me Selena is staying here at this manor, while Eideun grins teasing. Oh my. I've been caught, he asks. Is it a problem that I took in a beautiful girl because I was interested in her? But His Highness informs. Even on the battlefield, you were interested in Selena's story when you never even met her. But Eideun explains. I was simply curious because she was Your Highness's fiancé. And why is Your Highness curious about her whereabouts? She's no longer your fiancé, is she? So His Highness, trying to compose himself, adds, That's none of your business. Well, it's good news that she's here at your house. But before he completes, Eideun, with a much colder tone, explains, Selena isn't a slave. She's a free citizen. Wherever she stays, she doesn't need to comply with anything unless it's an imperial order. But His Highness, suspiciously inquiring, asks, Why did you approach her? Eideun, instead of answering, questions him with a clever smile. Why does any grown-up man approach a woman? But before they continue, a maid by knocking at the door informs, Your Highness, your food is ready. Please head to the dining room. So desperately Eideun adds, Do you know, Your Highness? You never once taught me how to read or write. Even when I was looked down upon or confronted with a difficult situation, while the prince apologizes. I'm sorry for not being more considerate, he also asks. But Eideun, you never asked me to help you with anything, did you? Which he calmly replies, How could I do that? To the man who wanted to possess Selena. Right, I remember how you looked at me and smiled. While on the other side, Fred, much excitedly talking to Shaun, says, I'm pleased to see that you've become such a respectable young man. Shaun also thanks him, saying, Thank you. I'm glad you seem to be doing well, Fred. By the way, is everything well with her ladyship? I'm curious because you used to praise her often, my lord. While he sadly thinks, It looks like the rumor hasn't spread yet. Then he informs, She was expelled from the house. So desperately, Fred adds, It must have been very distressful. I've never met her ladyship, but you often spoke highly of her. While Shaun brushes it off, saying, It's okay. It's all in the past. But I'm surprised you're working for Duke Calypso. I thought you would never work as a butler ever again. Fred also admits, That's what I thought. But as hard as it is, it's also quite rewarding. And then he hesitantly, humbly asks, And so, I'd like to ask you a favor, my lord. So on Shaun asking, What is it? Go on, you can tell me, Fred says. As you know, Duke Calypso doesn't know anyone in the noble society. I'd like to ask if you could invite him to a small party just once. While Shaun, much puzzled, thinks, Invite him? I'm not very inclined to, but it's hard to refuse since Fred is asking. I've known him for so long. So he calmly agrees, Sure, it's not hard for me to do. No need to even consider it a favor. I'll invite him to my birthday party which is coming up soon, so don't worry. While Fred much relaxes, thanks him saying, Thank you. Thank you so much, my lord. A few days later, Eva, talking to Selena, says, It's been 3 days already. I must have adjusted to life here at an inn, which Selena adds, I know. We should be at your house, Eva, before Eideun comes too. Both become silent on Eideun informing, There's no need for that. And talking to Selena, he adds, It's been a while. I was surprised when I didn't find anyone at Eva's. While she, much flustered, thanks him and hands him her bag when he adds, I know. I heard a loan shark was here. I heard from a neighbor. Then he, much angrily, shouts, Damn, I should have been there, that bastard. If he ever shows up again, I'll make sure he regrets it. Then he, much concerned, asks, You're both okay now, right? Which Selena assures while apologizing, Yes, but I'm sorry. I sent the loan shark away by giving him your name, which he calmly, immediately guarantees, saying, No, you did well. From now on, whenever you're in danger, just use my name. This makes her so blushed and impressed with him, so she immediately, controlling her emotions, loudly declares, Okay. Now we need to return and resume your lessons. I'll see you in the study once we arrive, while he adds, you're rigorous, aren't you? You won't allow me to skip a class even on a day like this. So now both are sitting in the library when she says, today, we will learn about law. First, let's look at Article 1. Until Article 9. And the last article, Article 10. It's about slaves. Then she hesitantly explains, unless a person has committed a serious crime or there is a convincing reason, the enslavement of a free citizen will not be acknowledged. In addition, but on his interrupting her, sadly informing, the slave's freedom won't be acknowledged either. Actually, I saw a slave who got captured after running away in the market. The same red blood flows through all of us. So why is it that they aren't treated like human beings? The fact that I'm suddenly treated with respect because I've become a free citizen is preposterous. I'm always looking for a way to help them as much as I can, but I don't think I've had that chance yet. While Selena, listening to him, much emotionally and feeling pain for him, politely holds his hand, thinking, it pains me. I also experienced a change in people's attitudes when my situation changed. I hope he can feel some warmth from my touch. I wish he realizes that he's not alone. But he looks at her with confused expressions, and then smiles, asking, it looks like I was too serious. And then, changing the topic, asks, so did anything happen during the 3 days? Actually, I'm worried because you don't look so well. Are there still matters to clear up with the loan shark? Which she immediately denies, sadly explaining, no. It's actually a private matter. I'm thinking of getting some counseling. I think there's something wrong with me. While he, with concern, asks, counseling? What kind of problem? Is it serious? She again denies. No, but I suffer from headaches and nightmares now and then. And I feel like those nightmares are somehow connected to my lost memory. I actually don't remember anything from my childhood. So I want to try counseling in hopes of retrieving my memory. You don't need to be too worried. But upon seeing him, she becomes shocked and thinks, it's suddenly become dead quiet. Why? Does Eideun look like he's scared? She hesitantly asks. If you're worried about something. While he immediately composing himself denies, it's not that. I'm sure you'll do a good job. Give it your best. I'll be rooting for you, she sadly thinks. He clearly looks scared for a moment. Perhaps I was wrong. She just says, okay, thank you, Eideun. On the other side, Eideun is walking down the stairs, much distracted, thinking, she's going to recover her memory. But his thoughts are interrupted by Jackson calling him, Your Grace. I heard you wanted to see me, so I was on my way. Eideun calmly asks, yes, have you thought about the proposal I made last night? Jackson, humbly looking down, informs, like I said, I'm a mere servant. Eideun still insists, I'm not looking for an expert. Just teach me the basics. The basics of swordsmanship. He recalls the night before. He comes outside exhausted, thinking, it's worse today. I can't sleep. He stops upon seeing two men talking and curiously thinks, Jackson and Peterson. Do they know each other? What are they talking about? With curiosity, he peeks and listens. Peterson is teasing, saying, who knew you were working as a servant here? Do you have no pride? Jackson coldly replies, what does it matter? I just need something that will put food on the table. That's all. But Peterson, still angry, teases loudly. Yeah, but of all places, you're working for a bastard slave. Jackson immediately corrects him with restrained anger. He's not a slave. He's a duke, and then loudly shouts with cold expression. Don't refer to a war hero as a slave. Do you think going into battle is a joke? Now Peterson, realizing his anger, hesitates and corrects him. No, that's not what I meant. Anyway, all the military trainers who came after you left were rubbish. If you only hadn't stolen from the Imperial warehouse. Jackson exhaling interrupts him and asks directly, what do you want? Peterson proudly explains, well, the thing is, we'd like to hire you as an external instructor to train the soldiers. It's much better than being a servant, no? Jackson, much upset, shouts at him. What? What do you take me for? You kicked me out back then and now you want me back? Peterson loudly inquires. Then do you expect us to honor someone who stole the pain relief potion that was meant for His Majesty? Jackson, angry, shouts, coming very close to him. Look, Peterson Dalton. I know you're His Highness's servant and also a pretty powerful noble, but that doesn't mean you can treat me like this. I was born a commoner, but I became a military training expert for the imperial family, all with my own abilities. In which country are military experts hired as external contractors? Disrespect me like that one more time and I'll snap that stiff neck of yours. Knowing the seriousness, Jackson immediately turns away, thinking, he really has a temper. As Eideun listens to all this from Peking, he calls Jackson, Your Grace. Startled, Jackson immediately turns around. Eideun apologizes. I'm sorry. I overheard as I was passing by. Jackson sadly looks down and says, My apologies for the commotion. Eideun calmly explains, No, it's fine. I actually have a favor to ask. Listening to all this, Jackson shockingly confirms, Your Grace wishes to learn swordsmanship from me? But you have enough hands-on experience. Why do you want to learn in the first place? Eideun shares, I did become a duke, but I've only wielded my sword for survival. I've never learned proper swordsmanship. Anything I've learned the wrong way, I want corrected, and improved my skills the right way. And to do that, I need your skills, Jackson. When you're done thinking about it, come and give me an answer. In the corridor, Selena is walking and looking at the letters thinking, I double-checked the papers that need to be sent to the Imperial Administration. Now I just need to get issued the business approval and drug warranty. But I'm worried if they will accept pain relievers when they're not traditional temple potions. Once it's approved, the pain relievers could be distributed immediately, but she stops thinking upon seeing Fred standing there. She calls them and moving towards them, politely taps his head and asks, Will, have you had breakfast? He nods. Then Fred asks and moves his hand to receive a letter saying, My lady, are those papers you'll be posting to the Imperial Administration? She hands it to him saying, Oh yes. Thank you for your help. He calmly denies, assuring, Not at all. I actually have something I must urgently ask. I was wondering, is it possible to get some more of that medicine you gave me? She, much concerned, asks, It wasn't enough? He immediately denies, explaining, No, after my wife recovered, rumors about it started spreading around. My acquaintances asked if they could get more of the medicine. They would be willing to pay however much necessary. She, much excited and happy, thinks, This is a good start. Once it spreads word of mouth, I'll have good results when I participate in the exhibition. And when the business is finally a success, I can then start my revenge. She knows very well that the exhibition is a big annual event. Merchants participate to promote their products. If the promotion goes well at the exhibition, I could make huge progress with the business a lot quicker than I'd expected. She excitedly informs Fred, I can sell more to you. It's not a problem. However, make sure it's clear who makes and distributes this medicine. On his shockingly asking, Would that be enough? She immediately assures, Yes, it's because I need it to be promoted. So don't feel too burdened. Knowing all this, he humbly thanks, saying, Thank you for your understanding. By the way, and keeps the letter in his jacket, when Fred also hands her another letter and asks, This is for His Grace. Do you mind passing it on to him? She immediately takes it, denying, No, not at all. After that, he knocks on the library door and informs, Eideun, I'm coming in. She enters the room, but becomes surprised and thinks, He's sleeping. She, much affectionate, comes close to him and observes, thinking, So he has a gentle face like this when he's asleep. I'm glad he looks like he's in a deep sleep. I was worried because he didn't look too good this morning. I wonder what exactly he was scared of then. Suddenly seeing him upset in his sleep, she becomes concerned and asks, Eideun? What's going on? But still, on his rolling with discomfort, she thinks, Is he having a nightmare? I think he's constantly mumbling something. She comes very close to him, listening. But what is it he's saying? But seeing that he is crying, Annette, she becomes shocked. She sadly thinks, Annette, it's a female name. I think I heard it somewhere before. So she recalls puzzled when Sienna, with fake emotion, shouts, So please stop this, Annette. She hesitantly thinks, Clearly back then. So how come everyone knows Annette? But seeing his growing discomfort and hearing Sienna calling the name, she becomes concerned, leans down to him, and asks, Wake up, Eideun! But he, still in his sleep, immediately holds her by the wrist and pulls her back onto the sofa while standing up. Now realizing that she is Sienna, he feels much guilt and looks at her, then adds, You're hurting me, Eideun. He immediately releases her and with much concern apologizes. Sorry, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you? While she, blushing at his closeness, looks away and denies, I'm okay. I know you didn't do it on purpose. While he, still much concerned, apologizes again. Sorry, it must have been painful. Damn it, it's because I had a bad dream. I haven't had one for a long time. On her, much emotionally asking, was it very bad? She thinks, actually, I want to ask him who Annette is. Who could she be that she's appearing in Eideun's dreams? But he, instead of explaining, changes the topic and informs, well, it was just a dream, same as the others. By the way, what are you doing here? So she explains, showing him the letter. I came to give you this. He, much attentive, looks at the letter. The Imperial Health and Welfare Department. It must be about Will. I think you should read it together with me, which he immediately obeys and starts reading. According to Imperial law, orphans should be raised in orphanages. Based on the child's address, you must send him to the orphanage in District 8 by the end of the month. While she reads the letter, both become much worried when he shouts, damn it, District 8 is pretty much the slums. They don't even do their job properly, yet they're desperate to attack me. He, much angrily, stands up shouting, District 8 is an area particularly frequented by slave merchants. This is clearly to insult my background. While she, controlling the situation, informs him, if you don't send Will to the orphanage, you'll receive political pressure. While she knows, if that happens, Eideun will be isolated from high society. Right now, there's no other way. So she suggests him, Eideun, we must first do what's within our power. I think you and I should visit the orphanage tomorrow. The next day, both arrive at the place when Sienna adds, so this is the place. It's run by the temple. So both walk and approach the children when Selena happily greets them. Hello, children. Are you playing ball? Which team is winning? What's the score? Although a child first looks hesitant but then informs, we're losing, and asks, do you want to play with us? But with a smile, Eideun denies, not now. We must meet the director here first. While kids suggest, okay, please wait here for a second. Moving away, while seeing Selena's sad face, one child talks to her. Eideun smiles and adds, they must find you a bit uncomfortable because you're female. Which he adds, if only I had a few days, I could get them to warm up to me. So as someone informs, the director's here, and seeing that he is the father Manuel, Selena immediately looks much scared and trembles. Eideun holds her from the shoulder asking, are you okay, teacher? What's wrong? But upon seeing her serious condition and recognizing her father, he immediately suggests, I think we need to escort Selena inside. Now sitting inside, asks, are you okay? I've been worried about you. While Eideun, much shocked, asks, you two have met before? So Selena reminding and motivating herself, it's okay. There's no need to be afraid of that place anymore. I even have Eideun next to me. Finally speaks, I met him at the interrogation center before. And on seeing his worried face, she assures, I'm okay now, Eideun. By the way, I didn't expect to see you here, priest. Which he explains, I was assigned to this post 2 years ago. I'm glad you seem much better now. So on priest asking, so what brings you here today? Eideun explains, there's a child we must entrust you with. So we came to inspect the environment here. While realizing that Eideun is placing his hand comfortably on her shoulder, she much emotionally thinks, he's trying to be considerate of me as best as he can. While he stares, informing, there's a 10-year-old boy who recently became an orphan. I wish to bring him here. I'd love to raise him myself, but the laws of this nation say I can't. So father, knowing the situation, asks, I see. May I ask the name of the person entrusting the boy with us? So Eideun, realizing, introduces himself. I see. I haven't introduced myself. I'm Eideun Calypso. But father, much surprised, asks, Calypso? You're not the war hero, are you? Which he admits, I am. You must have heard the rumors about me. So can I look around the facilities? Which father immediately agrees. Of course you may. While Selena standing up says to him, Eideun, I'd like to have a private chat with the priest. He, much worried, asks, are you sure you'll be okay on your own? She, with a smile, assures him, it's fine. I'm not as weak as I used to be. Besides, I have you with me now. I'm fine. But this makes him so emotional. He gazes at her with affection and leaves the room saying, all right, call me if you need me. So now both sitting in the room, when Selena calmly asks, I'm not interested in talking about the past. I simply want to see if it's okay to bring the boy to this orphanage. So father adds, yes, I fully understand your concerns. This place is different than the other orphanages. Now looking at the outside through the glass window where Eideun is now playing with the children, father adds, the surroundings aren't the best, but I'm doing my best so the children can be happy. If you're worried, I will write you every week with an update of how the boy is doing. So thinking, it doesn't seem like he's lying. The children do look happy. Considering both Will and the political situation, I think it's the best place for him. So he coldly adds, alright, but I can't fully trust you just yet. Considering what you did to me, I trust you will act upon your conscience with the children. While Father Manuel, noticing her, thinks, she clearly seems different compared to before. I can feel her courage and determination. So he assures her, yes, I'm well aware. I'll do my utmost to look after them. So moving back, Eideun with concern asks, so did you decide on that orphanage? Are you sure it's okay? Which she, relaxed, assures, there are many children around Will's age there. I also made sure to deliver my expectations to the priest. As they arrive at their place, Fred calls her, Lady Selena, and on her asking, what is it, Fred? He informs, well, I received a request from the administration division that you come down to see them. She, much shocked, thinks, the administration division? If I go there, I will have no choice but to meet him. The minister of the administration office, Count Estarion. Next day, she, Selena, well dressed, moves down the stairs when Eideun asks, where are you going, teacher? She replies, I'm going to the administration division at the Imperial Palace, Eideun. He, much concerned, asks, are you sure you want to? I can go instead of you, while she denies, saying, I appreciate it, but I must handle this myself. She sadly thinks, I have no choice. Even if I get insulted there, I must go. It's something I must endure on my own because this is my business and I'm putting my name on the line. Who knew I'd end up coming to the administration division like this? Selena Rayon is the new name I gave myself. The pain reliever won't be released in the Estarion name but my own. But I wonder why they wanted to see me. I'm sure there aren't any issues with the papers or my new name. Don't tell me the Count has found out about it. No, I don't know anything at this point. Getting my permit is the more important thing now. As she nears the office, the receptionist informs her. The reason we asked you to come in is that we need to check just how credible the drug is. As you know, getting a drug permit is extremely complicated these days. But with a bit of good gesture, I'm sure things can be different. She angrily thinks. He wanted a bribe, when he further adds with an evil smile. Of course, it might be difficult to make a good gesture. In that case, the entire permit process would simply take a tad bit longer. She exhales by opening her bag and thinks, I really don't want to do this, but perhaps it's good that it isn't a bigger problem. While this man jingles and says, oh my. You can take your time. Suddenly, seeing Lord Count approaching from behind, the receptionist becomes puzzled. Oh, my lord, while he completely ignores him, shouts loudly at Selena, asking, you! What kind of vicious lies were you planning to tell here at the Imperial Palace? The receptionist informs. My lord, she's here to take care of some administrative papers. But he, much angry, grabs the paper and looks at it when Selena calmly explains. A pain reliever? It's a drug only swindlers have made throughout history. The best you could have done was to mix narcotics inside it. Isn't that right? That's probably what you wish to believe, he shouts at her angrily. You certainly are the daughter of a filthy conman. You go ahead and try to sell that drug. I'll personally lock you up behind bars for fraud. He then feels relaxed, thinking. So they aren't canceling the permit. That's good enough for me. With teary eyes, she thinks. I'm glad Eideun didn't have to see this. It's okay. I feel miserable, but the humiliation is just momentary. My upcoming success and the revenge I will take will be forever. As she comes back to the manor, Eideun, standing at the gate, greets her. Welcome back, teacher. She, much shocked, looks at him, when he leans very close to her with much concern and asks, You look tired. There weren't any problems, were there? She, much relaxed with a blushed face, thinks, Seeing Eideun worry about me makes me feel consoled, and explains, Everything went well. Then changing the topic, she asks, By the way, did you train in the evening as well? He grins and shares. Actually, I decided to take swordsmanship lessons from Jackson. She, much shocked, assures, Swordsmanship? I thought Jackson was of a humble background. Eideun explains. I found out he used to be a military training expert for the imperial family. It was tough persuading him, but somehow it worked out well, Jackson agrees, saying, Alright, I'll train you, Selena informs. Jackson isn't the most sincere person. He also agrees. I thought that as well. But it doesn't matter because I will be. Then he asks, by the way, I heard you'll have a booth open at the exhibition for 3 days. She, with a wide polite smile, adds, yes, I'm a bit nervous since I have to prepare for it on my own. It would have been nice if I had Hiris with me. This makes him a little jealous, and he asks, Hiris? Is that a man? She calmly informs. He developed the pain reliever together with me. He coughs on his thoughts with a blushed face and assures, I see. Then, if it's okay with you, I'll drop you off near the venue on the exhibition day. She replies, it's okay. I already booked a wagon. I'll handle the exhibition by myself, so please don't worry about it, Eideun. He sadly agrees, saying, if you say so, teacher. On the exhibition day, glamour and crowd all around, Selena, much nervous, arrives holding her bag, thinking, finally, it's the day I showcase my medicine. Normally, I would be at a charity event with Amelia around this time. Who knew I would be participating in an exhibition with my own business? Moving towards her booth, she thinks, I'm participating for only one reason: to make an impression. As the Count said, pain relievers were perceived as the medicine of swindlers in the empire. It's because most of the so-called pain relievers had narcotics mixed in with them. Now she arranges her medicines on the table while thinking, so it's expected that people will be pointing fingers at me today. But it's okay. If I could convince just one person of its efficacy, that would be enough. I can do this. First, a man approaches her asking, an anesthetic? What kind of drug is that? He, much excited, explains, use this before the pain comes and you won't feel it. But on his again inquiring, you won't feel pain? Is that actually possible? That's absurd. Don't you have any good vitamins? She, with a smile, explains, I don't have vitamins. But the pain reliever and anesthetic can be much more effective. Suddenly, another man approaches and loudly points. Hey, such drugs have been sold by frauds for a very long time. We can't trust that it works. She, with a little tense, says, I'll give them to you for free. You can see if it's effective. Both men turn away saying, you could have mixed narcotics in with that, and we would never know. But she, again much emotional, tries to confess to them. I can prove that by taking it myself, while this person again says, what good would that do? She's probably an addict already. She is about to convince them again, but suddenly she is shocked when someone shouts, somebody, help! Upon hearing this, she immediately, much concerned, runs towards them where the boy is shouting in pain, lying on the ground, and inquires, what happened? The other person informs, he fell off the ladder while repairing the temporary wall. I think his leg is broken. We need to take him to the hospital. While she immediately stands up, takes the medicine from her booth, and comes back immediately saying, wait, I can help, while the other already holds her by the hand asking, look, I don't know what it is you're trying to do, but stop. Is that medicine even certified? While she explains, this is a painkiller. It will help alleviate the pain a bit. While this lady again asks, painkiller? That's an act of heresy, she denies. It's not heresy but science. Then sitting near the injured man, she suggests, drink this. Your pain should subside. Then upon seeing his hesitation, she opens the lid and by smelling it, assures, see, there aren't any narcotics mixed in. If it's ineffective or causes any issues, you can sue me. So, as this man, uncontrolled by his pain, takes the medicine, she looks at him and thinks, we need to wait a bit for the medicine to take effect. While seeing no effect, the stares, whispering and suggesting, shouldn't that woman be arrested? I'm sure she's a fraud, so let's hand her over to the police. While she controls herself thinking, I just need to wait until it does. Then finally, seeing the boy's much painful face turn into a happy, much relieved face, the other already asks Selena, so it isn't narcotics? And on her assuring, no it isn't, it's a painkiller. While seeing him, all the other people are whispering, it seems it isn't narcotics. Look at his face. He looked as if he was going to die. But now he looks a lot more comfortable. While another one adds, it isn't narcotics or even a pain relief potion, yet it's that effective. So, as the medical service approaches and asks, where's the patient? Someone notifies them, over here, and they silently keep him on the stretcher and move away. As they leave, some man comes near to Selena requesting, give me some of that medicine. I want to send it to my son who will be enlisted in the army. she becomes surprised to see too many hands approaching him requesting, "Me too, that painkiller or whatever you call it. I also want a bottle." So she finally smiles and with a happy face says, "Let me explain it to you over at that booth. Those of you interested, please come with." But Sienna, who is looking at all this with much anger, shouts and calls, "Selena, what are you doing here?" A little while ago, Sienna, standing in front of Shaun, asks, "I'm nervous. This is my first time attending an event like this," while he tries to relax her saying, "Don't worry, there will be quite a few people you know including Amelia," but on her again asking, "But still, I'm not dressed inappropriately, am I?" He, with a smile, adds, "You look more than fine. Are you that badly worried?" She assures, "Of course. Day's fundraiser is my first debut in high society," while she, with evil eyes, thinks, "Seriously, who knew my life would change this drastically? Yes, I worked hard to make sure I would settle in well. For now, I'm still struggling with the tasks Amelia handed me, but it will be a matter of time before all her responsibilities become mine." So she happily adds, "Today's the day I take my first step." So, as he enters the exhibition place, when a few women gathering around her show their shock, "You two really must be twins because you're very much alike." The other one also nods saying, "Yes, I don't know what happened to Selena, but let us become good friends," which Sienna also happily admits. "I look forward to it too." She, much angrily, clenches her fists. All eyes are on Selena. It doesn't look like they believe the only rumor that she was expelled from the family. Suddenly Shaun, approaching her from behind, addresses the women. "My ladies, she is no longer our sister, so I request you refrain from mentioning her again." So this woman apologizes. "My apologies, Sienna," while she calmly brushes it off. "No, it's okay, Sienna," when Shaun informs, "I'm going to go greet the other guests. See you later." As Shaun moves away, Sienna hears the women whispering, "So was Selena really expelled from the family? I heard she's in the neighborhood." And on another lady's shock, "Pardon? What do you mean?" The first one whispers, "Viscount Allen said he saw her at an exhibition held nearby." This makes Sienna so much annoyed and angrily she thinks, "What? I thought she would be living in some rundown and doing laundry. But instead, she was seen at an exhibition? How could that be?" She, much puzzled, bites her finger thinking, "I'll have to see what she's up to." So, as she arrives at the exhibition, Shaun, seeing her much excited, asks, "Sienna, here you are. I'm afraid I must leave now. Something has come up." She, much puzzled, suggests to him, "Then go ahead first. I'll stay a bit longer, then head home later." So he leaves saying, "Okay, see you at the manor then." So now, seeing her happily talking with the ladies, she much angrily and skeptically thinks, "What? Instead of looking shabby, she's like a star shining bright among all the women." So she, calling her from behind, asks, controlling her anger, "Selena, what are you doing here?" And as Selena turns back to her, she holds her hand angrily and shouts, "You shouldn't be here," while she also angrily shouts, "Let go of me," when Sienna loudly says, "Selena, it's illegal to sell unauthorized drugs," while she thinks, "I knew she would do this, but how in the world did she know I was here?" But still Selena, controlling her anger, informs, "It's already gone through the administrative process and has been authorized, so stop trying to find fault with me." So Sienna, immediately changing her expressions, fake concern, asks, "But I'm simply worried about you," when Selena, lightly again, informs, "This is the last warning, let go of my hand." But Sienna, again with her evil looks, loudly asks, "Selena, I really didn't want to say this, but do you want to be locked up in the heresy interrogation center again?" Which shocks all the other crowds about Selena, as Sienna, further with her evil smile, adds, "You could be taken for a heretic if you misuse this painkiller. I'm sure you know very well what that place is like, but I guess it wasn't so bad." Now Selena becomes really disappointed to see all people stare, whispering and murmuring, "Did you hear that? She must be a heretic," while someone says, "A heretic? It's obvious what kind of medicine someone like that would sell. Who knew she was a heretic?" While Selena immediately turns around trying to explain, "You're wrong. If I were really a heretic, I wouldn't even be standing here. The priest already proved that I'm not." But seeing all the crowd moving away without listening to her, she, much angrily, turns to Sienna and, grabbing her hand, angrily inquires, "What do you think you're doing?" While without feeling guilty, Sienna grins, saying, "I was simply concerned for you. Was I a disturbance? By the way, Selena, how have you been since you were released from the interrogation center? Although you look better than when I last saw you, you look gaunt." Then she much proudly informs, "Your room is now my dressing room." So Selena, knowing her intention, thinks, She wants me to live as before, like someone who's hit rock bottom. I won't fall for her tricks. So she calmly adds, you will never be me. And on Sienna shocked, she further adds, I can't replace you and the things you used to do in the past. But neither can you replace me and your family. Although it firstly makes her angry. But then she laughs teasingly and asks, so your last resort was to become a fraud? Is that it? While Selena also angrily says, I see how it can look like fraud in the eyes of someone who is ignorant. So she, with her cold expression, warns Sienna saying, let me be clear, one day, you will regret what you did to me. While Sienna just smiles asking, regret? It looks like you're the one who wants to be dragged back to the heresy interrogation center. But this time without being scared, Selena suggests her, go ahead and try. I've already proven my innocence. Accusing me twice without any legal evidence won't be as easy as you think. So I suggest you continue pulling your cute little puppy dog tricks just like you've always done. After all, that's the best you can do. And without bothering Sienna anymore, much angry Selena turns away. But she stops when someone calls her. You're Selena Rayon, the owner of the booth, right? And upon her admitting she is, this man requests her, please clear your booth out by tomorrow. We can't have you sell items involved with heresy. But on her shockingly assuring, these aren't heretic items. They've been authorized by the administrative division. I even have the papers here. This person adds, papers are just papers. What's important is that a report has been filed. He also warns her, if you don't vacate the booth by tomorrow afternoon, we'll be forced to remove you ourselves. Don't say we didn't warn you. As he leaves, Selena, much angrily, presses the paper, with teary eyes, but then she wipes her tears, motivating herself. It's okay. Don't cry over something like this. I can make things work out. So as she enters in the Duke Calypso's manor, Eideun, much concerned, asks, Teacher, what are you doing here? Didn't you say you would return late in the evening? But seeing her so tired face, he again, much worried, asks, Are you okay? While she, losing her strength, with much teary eyes looks at him, but then suddenly controls and apologizes, looking down. Sorry, I didn't want to do this in front of you. He, not knowing what to do, comes close to her and starts patting her, while she thinks, he certainly isn't good when it comes to comforting someone. Then he angrily asks, if you want, I'll King. I'll destroy them, whoever it is. Just give me their name. How can I make things better? She looks at him with teary and emotional eyes and then asks. Then, just a moment, he becomes shocked and asks, what are you doing? When she, grabbing him, hugs him so affectionately, while she thinks, I'm so lonely. I just want to know that there's someone who's on my side. She now, looking at him with blushed face, thinks, even if he says he approached me with an ulterior motive, it's okay. He's always given me warmth and made me feel less lonely. And he becomes embarrassed and blushes when she thanks him. Thank you so much. But seeing his so much embarrassed and reddish face, she immediately moves away from him, apologizing. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable, which he immediately denies. No, I'm not uncomfortable, and scratching his cheek explains, I was just surprised. Nobody has ever expected to be comforted or hugged by someone so lowly as myself. While she, totally mesmerized by his scar, thinks, looking at his scar reminds me, the person he tried to protect at the cost of being hurt like that. Could it have been that woman called Annette? While on his noticing her looking at him so passionately, he asks, is something on my face? While Selena, immediately looking down, denies, no, I was just thinking what a strong person you are, and calmly admires him, saying, you underestimate yourself, but you're the strongest and most fabulous person I've seen up close, so never say you're lowly. And as she shares, and today, I got kicked out because I'd been dragged to the heresy interrogation center before. He much angrily shouts, what? Those bastards. While Selena calms herself down, saying, it's okay, they will regret it someday. So now both sitting in the library, when Selena is reading the letter, which says, he recalls, a few days ago, I wrote a letter to the shipowner. I asked him to load my things instead of the ingredients required for Amelia's business. Who knew the investment in the ship I'd made when I was with the Estarions would become this useful? So now, coming out of her thoughts, she asks Eideun, are there any words you don't recognize? And on his denying, while completely busy in writing, she thinks, once he works on his tone a bit, I don't think there's anything more I need to teach him in terms of etiquette. But then recalling when he in anger says, why those bastards? This bastard, that bastard. She smiles with blushed face, thinking, of course, he's just being himself. But then as she finally looking down with hesitation asks, I have a question for you, Eideun, he much shocked says. You have a question for me? Who would have imagined? So what is it you want to know? But on her asking, who taught you how to write your name? By any chance, was it Annette? As she inquires, by any chance, was it Annette? He much shocked asks back, how did you know? When she, much sadly, thinks, Sienna called me Annette as well. I wonder who she is. Has Eideun been nice to me all this time because I look like her? I want to ask him if he got that scar on his cheek while protecting Annette. But before she asks, Eideun, much hesitant, asks, Teacher, what do you think about the name Annette? And on her answering, it's just a name. But on his disappointment, she asks, were you expecting a different answer? He immediately, composing himself, denies, No, I wasn't. But when Selena, much concerned, glances at him and asks, it must be a special name to you, Eideun. While he doesn't give her an answer, instead changing the topic, he asks, how about your business? Is it doing well? By thinking that he's changing the subject, she just says, yes it is. Then, much disheartened, clenching her hands, asks, Eideun, I'm sorry to say this all of a sudden, but I think I should return to my room. I'm tired, which he agrees to. Now coming back, with blushed and warm faces, he, much flustered, thinks, what's wrong with me? I never felt this way when I was with His Highness. While at the Amelia place, she is shouting at the maid, what do you mean the shipowner can't load the perfume ingredients? And another lady hesitantly informs, well, the contract was originally made in Lady Selena's name, so I think we've been given a cancellation notice. While she, much angry, clenches her fists, thinks, no. I can't make the perfumes ordered in advance without those ingredients. Sienna will show up at the ball this time. She will be the hottest issue. If I don't want to lose the spotlight, I need to at least have my perfumes, which I have a monopoly over. But then she again shouts angrily, but still, how could they one-sidedly terminate the contract like that, when the other lady shares? I heard it was impossible to maintain the contract because they no longer had a secure source of payment, considering what happened with Lady Selena. While Amelia, biting her finger angrily, thinks, Selena, you just won't stop being trouble, will you? While the other lady informs, the vacant spot seems to have been given to a person by the name of Rayon. The shipowner said we should try talking to him. So Amelia, now angrily holding the paper, asks, what? Do you know the address of this so-called Rayon? I must write him immediately. So she starts writing, Dear Rayon, I have a favor to ask. While she still angrily thinks, who knew I'd be begging a stranger like this? I even feel nervous doing this. So days pass. When she is angrily and anxiously walking, the maid arrives and informs, My lady, you've received a reply. She immediately reacts and, holding the letter, says, Let me see. What does it say? But seeing her so weird and angry, the maid asks, My lady, what's wrong? While Amelia, much angry, shouts, How is this even possible? It was her, Selena. Selena Rayon. The damn Rayon was the Estarion girl. I can't believe I begged a girl like that. She, much shocked, asks, How does she have so much power? Isn't she supposed to be roaming the streets homeless? This is ridiculous. Then she shouts at the maid, ordering, Get the carriage ready. I'm heading to House Estarion. And then she angrily throws the letter, where Selena teases her, saying, How about I shut Sienna up if I want to get the ingredients? You couldn't do that because you don't have the courage. I understand since you're a cowardly, two-faced person. So standing in front of Sienna, she much angrily shouts at her, The family should have taken proper measures to get rid of the fake one completely. How could you allow such a letter to be written to me? While Sienna, standing like a victim, apologizes, I'm sorry. I should have been more thorough. Amelia again shouts, I kept this family's secret as the two families have been close for many years. But this is how you repay me? While Sienna still apologizes, I have nothing to say other than I'm truly sorry. While she angrily thinks, I'm the daughter of the house, yet I'm still being treated like this. It's as if I've gone back in time to my maid days. Selena, this is what you were after. Then Amelia again shouts, Sienna, a word of advice. It's best not to make any mistakes in high society. While she admits, I appreciate the advice. Then she angrily denies, No, I think I got too worked up today. I'll be leaving now. She hardly closes the door behind her. While Sienna again apologizes, Okay. Sorry once again, Amelia. She, much annoyed, thinks, Who knew that girl could exercise such influence? I will make her pay for this. So she moves toward her father's room door and asks, "Father, it's Sienna." And on his giving the permission, she enters. While Shaun and his father are still busy in their own conversation, Shaun adds, "His Highness is personally getting involved in the eradication of the drug dealers. But whether it will prove to be effective, that remains to be seen." While his father also agrees, "That's true. You take them out and they keep popping up like weeds." The next day, upon arriving at her destination, Selena felt extremely nervous. "It's my first counseling session, I feel nervous," she thought anxiously. "It would have been nice if Eideun were with me at a time like this. But this is a private matter, and he's busy with his swordsmanship lessons. Today I'll try tackling it on my own." As she opened the door, a woman greeted her with a gentle smile. "Hello, Miss Selena Rayon," the woman introduced herself. "I'm Gloria Humphs, your psychological counselor. Please call me Gloria. It must have been hard for you to decide to come here. You don't feel uncomfortable, do you?" Selena quickly shook her head. "No, I'm actually glad. I've always felt the need for counseling." Gloria began making notes as she asked, "What, may I ask, made you feel the need for it?" "Actually, I was kidnapped when I was little. I've lost all my memories from that period, so I thought it would be nice to be able to retrieve them. But every time I tried, I suffered from nightmares and headaches. I was curious if the reason was psychological and wanted to receive some counseling. I tried on my own, but it was beyond my ability." "You said you were little? Exactly how old were you?" "I was 10. I don't remember anything before that age. It's as if that part of my life was carved out." "Then what is your first memory, Miss Rayon?" "My first ever memory is, I was out of breath, running away from something. But my memory from after the rescue, it's fuzzy for some time." "I see. So it's important for you to recover your memory. Do you remember when the headaches and nightmares started?" "The nightmares continued ever since I returned home. And my father, he always comforted me." Selena's thoughts darkened. "It isn't easy talking about my family while hiding my status. But the headaches just started one day." Seeing Gloria's surprised expression, Selena explained further. "I remember the day I first took a potion because of a headache." "And when was that?" "It was the day I came back from meeting the Crown Prince, Philip, my ex-fiancé." After the session, Selena walked out feeling tired, her mind troubled with thoughts. "I don't understand. It means the day I met His Highness, I developed a headache that was so bad that I had to take some potion. But when I regained my consciousness, I was at home. If something like that happened, I would surely remember the details. Yet for some reason, I can't recall anything. It's strange, but I didn't realize that until now. I get a headache again just thinking about it." As she stepped outside, Eva rushed to her. "My lady, I came to receive you because His Grace is still taking his swordsmanship lesson." Eva then handed her a letter. "I also had something to give you, my lady." "Here it is." Selena, confused, opened the letter and was surprised to read the contents. "Having confirmed the efficacies of the medicine, we would like to offer you a contract, Miss Selena Rayon." She gasped in disbelief. "Eva! I received a contract proposal." Eva clapped her hands excitedly. "Oh my gosh! Congratulations, my lady. I know how hard you worked on it. You finally secured a contract, and so soon." Selena could hardly believe it. "I can't believe it. A contract. I'm finally being given an opportunity like this. I can't wait. I'm going to go to this place tomorrow." The next day, as she arrived at the company, a servant greeted her politely. "The owner will be with you soon. Please wait." Selena thanked him and sat down nervously, thinking, "Being here at the company with which I'll be signing my first contract makes me even more nervous." Her thoughts were interrupted when a calm, middle-aged man approached her. "Miss Selena Rayon?" She immediately stood up. "Nice to meet you. I'm Selena Rayon." "I'm Jim Reeton. But did you not receive the letter I sent by expedited service?" "No, I didn't because I left the house early." Seeing his hesitant expression made her feel uneasy. Jim cleared his throat and said carefully, "I actually sent a letter confirming the withdrawal of the proposal." Selena was stunned. "Excuse me? But why?" Jim explained. "Late in the evening yesterday, the Imperial Administrative Department sent an official document. It stated there was an increase in the supply of painkillers using the latest drugs and advised caution. No drugs were used in my medicine, Selena argued. But we didn't have a choice, Jim said regretfully. The administrative department was so firm in their stance. They said the slightest mistake, and all the administrative papers allowed for the company could be cancelled. That's an abuse of power, Selena said, anger rising in her voice. Jim nodded solemnly. The risk is too big for our company to bear. Count Estarion, the Minister of Government, personally issued a warning. Selena's thoughts boiled with fury. He clearly targeted me. I can't believe he's interfering like this. How shameless. He can try all he wants to block the flow of water with an embankment, but he'll never be able to completely stop the water. Seeing her silent frustration, Jim bowed slightly. Anyway, I request your understanding on this matter. It's fine, she said calmly. There will be lots of people who want this medicine. As she walked away, disappointed but composed, she thought to herself, now I'm back to square one. I have so much to do. As she approached the residence, her eyes widened in shock. Emilia was waiting outside. You're finally back, Emilia said with a calm but firm voice. I've been waiting for you, Selena Rayon, Emilia further adds. I had a hard time finding out where you were staying. Who knew you were staying at the famous Duke Eideun's manor? You have no idea how hard it was for me without you. Sienna's always too greedy when she's not knowledgeable of what's going on, while Selena coldly asks, I doubt you came here to talk about such things. You don't need to sweet-talk me, Emilia. I'm sure the main issue is the import of the perfume. I'm the biggest shareholder of the ship company. As a result, I did what I wanted to. Is there a problem with that? This makes Emilia so angry that she shouts. Do you think you're still an Estarion? Then Selena angrily adds, importing perfumes was originally my idea, so it has nothing to do with you. I don't want to get tangled up in a dirty turf war and end up filing a lawsuit. Don't you think it's best for you to quietly leave? While Emilia angrily says, even intact. And on Selena's shock, she adds, your memory isn't even intact. Seeing Selena's angry look, she calmly adds, don't you think a lawsuit would be useless when your memory isn't even stable? You don't have any memory from around your 15th birthday, do you? Selena shouts. Stop talking gibberish. That's not possible. I had a birthday party that. But while trying to recall it, she thinks disappointedly. Come to think of it, did I even have a birthday party? Emilia informs again. His Highness even sent you a gift. But you don't remember that. I mean, you aren't even aware of the fact that you don't remember. Selena, growing more curious, asks. What? Tell me more, Emilia rudely teases. You fool, do you think I'll actually tell you? There's no way the court will take the side of someone who's lost their memory. It's all done now. If you want to file a lawsuit, go ahead. Do whatever you want. Selena, standing curiously, thinks. I'm confused. I should chase after her now and ask her. But I can't remember a thing from that day. I don't think Emilia was lying. I must check my memory in full. The way that comes to mind now is to find my diary at the Estarion Manor and do a cross-check? Meanwhile, elsewhere, Jakun arrives near Eideun, who is passionately practicing the sword. Jakun says, I see you're training hard. I'm late. Eideun calmly brushes it off, saying, It's fine. By the way, my posture which you pointed out last time. I was thinking about strengthening my core so I can fix my posture, Jakun asks. Did you ever injure your ankle? You can delicately sprain it if you're too tense, Eideun explains. I did break my ankle once when I was little, Jakun hesitantly asks. Honestly, Your Grace, I still don't understand why someone of your stature is doing this, Eideun informs him. Because that way, I can make the jewel I have sparkle even more. Still not understanding, Jakun watches as Eideun further explains. I'll be joining the swordsmanship competition in the spring. And winning is my goal. Eideun knows that the swordsmanship competition is held every spring, where knights from all the families gather to combat each other. The winning knight is awarded prize money and honor, personally by the emperor. He declares, I will win in that competition and personally meet the emperor. All of this is for her. Back at the manor, Selena ponders. Going to the Count's manor and getting my diary will definitely be difficult. Is there no other way? She's shocked when Eideun grabs her by the shoulders and calls, "Teacher, you seem to have a lot on your mind these days. You didn't notice I was approaching." She immediately apologizes. "Sorry. I was thinking about today's class," he calmly responds. "Well, I'm sure it's a lie, but let's say I believe you." Changing the topic, she informs him. "Today, we'll be learning ballroom dancing. That's why I called you to this empty room," he asks in shock. "Ballroom dancing?" she explains. "The ball is in a month. You have good motor skills, so I'm sure you'll learn fast. Stand here." "Okay," she instructs him. "Stand facing me and take my hand." Then holding his hands, she instructs again. "Then put your other hand around my waist." He, much flustered and red-faced, shouts. "What? Your waist?" She places his hand around her waist and says, "Now look at my feet and follow my steps." He is embarrassed as she begins teaching him the steps. 1, 2, 3, turn again, relax, and, after finishing the lesson, she comments, "You didn't focus on your partner till the end." Flustered, he asks, "Could we take a short break?" She calmly suggests. "There's no need to be so nervous," he dismisses it. "No. It's just really hard. Dancing," he then suggests. "Next time, ask Eva or Becky to dance with you. Then you'll get used to it." He immediately denies his own idea. "No, it's fine. I prefer to practice with you," she asks again. "Are you sure?" He agrees. "I'm sure. Just need to practice. Let's try it again." They begin practicing again. 1, 2, 3. Now she feels her heart racing. She thinks, unlike before, he's completely focusing his attention on me. Now that I'm conscious of him, even the touch of his hand feels more delicate than before. And now that we're facing each other like this, I feel like I've just locked eyes with some kind of animal. As she stumbles, flustered, he smiles, gently holds her, and asks, "Are you okay? You should be focusing on me." Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments if you enjoyed it.